Naruto Uzumaki is an orphan and a demon. During his birth, his family was attacked by a mysterious masked man. When Kushina Uzumaki's seal loosened, he released the nine-tailed one. The fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze, was able to cope with the attacker and seal the Kyuubi into his newborn son. He had been waiting for his birth for so long, but those damn elders literally took his son away from him. He had to give his child to an orphanage. 5 years later, from another beating, Naruto got into the subconscious. Walking through some kind of sewer, he came across a larger room. Entering there, the guy met with a golden cage. On it was a sheet with the inscription, "Seal, baby, so you're my jailer," said the fox, trying to reach the boy with his claw. "Calm down, fox," Ashura said. "Yes, Ashura-sama," said the fox, crawling away. "It's funny, even Kyuubi is afraid of you," Hashirama said, the first Hokage. Naruto shouted, "Yes, Naruto, we didn't just show up here. You are the child of the prophecy. The fate of the whole world depends on you. We were sent from the world of the dead so that you could gain incredible power." Senju was able to verify the further history of the village after his death. I really did not like the act of Hokage." "What act?" After that, they told him everything. Naruto was ready to start training. "Have you forgotten about me?" Ashino said, stepping out of the shadows. "And who are you?" Naruto asked. "I am Ashino Uzumaki, the head of the Uzumaki clan and the Whirlpool village." "I'm also your grandfather," said the old man, smiling, and Naruto forgot. "I'm also your grandfather, and Ashura is the founder of our clans," said the shinobi god. "It turns out that we are all relatives here." The blonde man shouted. After that, he quickly became friends with Kurama, and Ashino opened the cage. Naruto trained physically for 2 months and developed the SCC and the focus of the chakra. "Naruto, are you ready to start learning techniques?" Ashura said. "I'll teach you shadow cloning," Hashirama said. Naruto learned in 30 minutes and was able to create 5 clones. "Okay, now we'll find out your elements," said the first Hokage. "Naruto, run to the store and buy 10 pieces of chakra leaves," said the creator of Konoha. The blonde barely bought these sheets. Hashirama was surprised by the hatred of the inhabitants of his village. Running to the landfill, he held a chakra there. The first leaf rotted, the second got wet, the third was cut in half, the fourth crumpled, the fifth burned, the sixth was covered with tree bark, and the last became black and white, and a red spiral appeared in the form of the Uzumaki clan. "Naruto, you have all 5 elements, 2 Kekii Genkaya, the first element of the tree, the second genome of our clan chain Kongo Fuso, and Dojitsu Yuzugen. He can cast a strong genjutsu that is stronger than anyone in this world and has Rinnegan techniques. It also contains an individual ability. You have it, Susanoo. I do not know how to use it, because this armor can only summon a Mangekyo Sharingan, but it's good," Ashino said. "Susanoo is the best defense. Madara's was about 100 meters high and almost impenetrable," Senju said. "Cool, but what technique are we going to study now?" "Henge, replacement, and the 5 elements. Hashirama will help with Suiton and Doton, and then with Mokuton. I'll help with Raiden and Futon. With Kato, you can ask Uchiha," said the head of Uzushio. "I'll teach you other techniques," Ashura said. "I have Biju mode." Fox inserted his 5 kopecks in 1 week. The blonde studied the Henge, replacement, and Shunshin of the hidden whirlpool. Later, Naruto spent the whole month studying the Suiton with Doton. Then he studied Wind with Lightning from Ashina. "Naruto, now you will be learning the wood style. Mokuton is the element of the tree, the genome of my clan, very rare," Hashirama said. Naruto learned Mokuton for a year, and the Anbu, who were supposed to follow him, did not follow their orders. Naruto learned all the techniques of Makoto in the subconscious. Naruto looked like this, a mask on the floor of the face, like Kakashi's. Her hair is the color of the sun, and her hairstyle is like Ashura's. Clothing and a cloak made from the chakra of all 9 Biju. Hashirama, Ashura and Ashina. He looked like this. The cloak all 9 Biju stand around the Uzumaki sign, which was formed from the chakra of his ancestors. Naruto was about 6 years old. He started training at 5. Naruto subconsciously studied Fuin, Ashura techniques with Hiraishin and Rasengan. Of Uzugen's techniques, he mastered only Susanoo and powerful Genjutsu. When the blonde is 15 years old, they will begin to study Rinnegan's abilities. Naruto knocked on the Hokage's office. When he entered, he saw Anba with a dog mask and the leader of the village. "Hello, Hokage-sama, I want to become Anbu," Naruto said. "Boy, did you mess up the beds? Go play in the sandbox with the kids. You're too young for that." After these words, Naruto entered the Biju mode and enveloped the Hokage with large branches from a tree that do not allow the use of chakra. "So, fourth, either you give me a chance to pass the exam, or I'll break all your bones," the boy said menacingly and imperiously. After Naruto's words, Hokage was afraid that his abandoned son almost killed him. "Ho! Rasho! Dog, come here!" Seeing such a picture, Kakashi attacked the blonde, but he was stopped by Minato. When the village leader ordered Anbu to conduct an exam, they went to the training ground together with Hokage. Having arrived there, a fight began between a child and an elite ninja. They fought in taijutsu and Naruto defeated him, even though Hatake was with an activated Sharingan. From ninjutsu, the blonde showed only Suiton, Doton with Raiden. Hokage stopped the fight and gave Naruto the title of Anbu with a fox mask. Jinchuriki was in a team with Shisui Uchiha. "She's a genius from the Uchiha clan, Shisui-chan. Can you help me with Kato?" "Yes, of course," said the girl smiling. "Are you really an Uchiha? I thought you were all gloomy and serious." "I'm special," said the girl pointing to herself. "I see," said Naruto. "Fox, what's your name and can you take off your mask?" The girl asked. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki," he said, taking off his mask. The girl saw a 6-year-old boy with a mask like Kakashi's and blue eyes under the fox mask. When they came to the training ground, they began to study the fire style. The blonde had learned almost all of the Kato techniques that Shisui had mastered in a day. After that, they carried out missions of rank B and A for 2 months. Minato had already learned the full power of his son. The next day they showed up at the Hokage's office. "Naruto, Shisui, I give you a mission of rank S. You have to eliminate the Nukanins from the fog. Kakashi will go with you." "Hi," they both said and disappeared. They appeared near the exit of the village. Running out of it, they reached them in 30 minutes and 7 mist swordsmen appeared in front of Anbu. "Oh, Anbu," Courier said. "Let's just say we're 6 for this boy, and Jinin for this girl." "Understood you, Zabuza." The battle began. The swordsmen acted amicably, but Naruto used a Makuten and grabbed all the swordsmen. Zabuza turned out to be a clone and, coming from behind, chopped off Naruto's hand. Then he used Uzugen and threw Zabuza Genjutsu and cut his throat. Then, with the speed of lightning, he cut the other 5 and sealed the swords of 6 swordsmen, then ran to Shisui's aid. When he came running, he saw an exhausted girl and Akabino, who wanted to finish her off, but Naruto appeared and protected her after receiving a very powerful blow from a swordsman. The blonde man had a scar all over his body. The blow also grazed his left eye, which was not injured, but formed a vertical scar. The rest of the face was not touched. Naruto entered Kurama's avatar. "I am a former swordsman of the mist, Jinin Akabino, proclaim you the bloody fox of the leaf, die." Uzumaki shouted after shooting a mini bijou lady. After examining the battlefield, he found the sword that Akabino had. He threw it aside before his death. During this time, his body stopped hurting. Lifting the battle-battered girl with Susanoo's hand, he carried her to Konoha. Having reached the village in 10 minutes in Biju mode, Naruto took Shisui to the hospital and was about to leave when a nurse stopped him and said that he needed to stay in the hospital for a while. After listening to the girl, he stayed in the hospital. When he sat down by his partner's bed, Hokage, Tsunade, Kushina and Itachi came into the ward. They all saw a kid about 6 years old. Fox, what happened? Hokage asked. The Nukanins turned out to be 7 mist swordsmen. I killed everyone. Shisui fought against Jinina Akabino and protecting her. I was wounded, and my hand was cut off by Mami Zabuza showing with his only hand, the fox said. 7 mist swordsmen. The remaining one said in surprise. You urgently need to be treated. You have fatal wounds, said Tsunade. No, I'm a Jinchuriki, so everything will heal on me. But Kushina ignored the words that he was Jinchuriki. It was important to her that Shisui lived, because she wants to marry Menma to her. Shisui is Fugaku's daughter in this fight. She is the same age as Itachi, that is, 11 years old. Fox, you need a new arm, otherwise you won't be able to be a shinobi, Tsunade said. It will grow back in a week, said the blonde coming out. Fox, I'm giving you a rank A mission. You have to watch over and protect my children, and I'm starting this very important mission tomorrow, the blonde man replied, disappearing into the whirlpool of water. Naruto appeared at home and fell on the bed without strength. The blonde man found himself in the subconscious. Naruto, you're doing great. They were at the Kage level, said the first. Thank you. Can you restore my arm faster? I have a Hokage child protection mission tomorrow. Yes, when you wake up, everything will be ready. Thank you. Grandpa has harem, said the blonde coming out of the subconscious, waking up Anbu from a knock on the door. Opening it, Mikoto was standing there. She saw a boy about 6 years old, with a mask like Kakashi's and the same scar. When she saw that there was a huge scar on the young man's body, she was surprised. Boy, can you call a man from Anbu in a fox mask? I'm in front of you. What do you need? The boy asked. I am Shisui's mother. Thank you for saving her from the swordsman, said the woman. You're welcome, said the blonde. And what is your name? My name is Mikoto Uchiha. Shisui's mother said, smiling. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto-kun, can you come to dinner with us? No, I have a mission to protect the children of Hokage. All right, said a sad Uchiha for the sake of appearance. After that, the blonde quickly ate his ramen. After dressing in Anbu clothes and taking his new swords, he went to guard the Hokage children. Naruto sat in one place until 12 o'clock. When the Hokage family went to the Uchiha quarter, he was not surprised, because he knew that the Minato family were good friends of the head of the Uchiha clan. Kushina knocked on the door of the house and Mikoto opened it for them. Her gaze darted in the direction of Naruto and the children, and Hokage's wife looked there and saw nothing. Mikoto, what's wrong with you? Uzumaki asked. Nothing, replied Uchiha. The women were drinking tea, and the children were playing in the meantime. Jinchuriki was watching them. When everyone sat down at the table in the evening, to Naruto's surprise, Shisui was there. Shisui noticed and beckoned him with her hand, and Naruto appeared in front of the door. Hi, Shisui-chan. The guy greeted the girl. Naruto-kun, how's the arm? It's fine, and now I'm going, Anbu said, showing his hand. No, wait, you're not X. Do you want to pee, eat, come with us? Shisui asked, all red. I don't mind. I will carry out the mission, Naruto said as he entered the house. Shisui showed me where to leave the equipment. After changing clothes, Naruto barely found a bath and washed his hands, and when he entered the kitchen, they saw a boy about 6 years old with a rag mask and a vertical scar near his eye. Everyone was talking and laughing except Naruto. Hey, why aren't you talking to us? None of your business, Namikaze, Naruto said, stopping his meal. Fox, your father must be a strong jounin or Anbu. Since you are already serving at that age, Kushina said. After these words Naruto became sad. I have no parents. My father, a brute, abandoned me and told my mother that I was dead, Naruto said after finishing and washing the dishes. He thanked Mikoto and wearing Anbu's equipment. He wanted to go out already. Lise, I'm sorry, I didn't know we could help you. Minato's wife said, I don't need your help, the blonde man said without any feelings. For the next week, Naruto followed the Hokage children, and one day Minato came to Naruto and seeing how the boy lives, that is, caught him when he took out the cheapest ramen and brewed it. I realized what I had doomed my son to. If it wasn't for that damn Danzo and the elders. And when Naruto came out he saw Hokage. Naruto, do you know who your parents are? Minato asked. Yes, said Naruto with such coldness that the Hokage's heart sank. But why didn't you come back? Jiraiya's disciple asked. I don't want to go back to where I was abandoned, and if you want to persuade me to come back to you and your family and spend a normal childhood, no, it's too late. I didn't have a childhood and won't have one, and now, Hokage-sama, I went on a mission to protect your Spinoglyphs, Naruto said, disappearing. The blonde guarded the children of the fourth until their birthday. He did not celebrate his birthday and guarded them as usual, when suddenly the Hokage appears. Naruto, that's it, the mission is over. You can go celebrate your birthday, Hokage-sama. I haven't celebrated my birthday for a very long time and I won't. Anbu said. Why? Minato asked. I was beaten very badly that day, and besides, I don't want to celebrate it. I see, said the sad fourth Hokage, because he understood that he had deprived his son of childhood. Naruto appeared at home, and when he lay down on the bed, he found himself in the subconscious. Happy birthday to you. Everyone shouted, thanks. The blonde man said without emotion, Naruto, we will disappear today except Kurama, but we will transfer all our knowledge and reserves of chakra with techniques. Ashino said. I see, Uzumaki said with sadness in his voice. Everyone touched the blonde's forehead and he received knowledge, ancestral techniques, and chakra reserves became many times larger. Naruto, now I will give you our common gift, said the fox. What kind of gift? Anbu asked. These are bracers, which consist of Gudadam. They cannot be penetrated, Kurama said. Cool, Naruto said, putting on his gift. Naruto woke up from a knock on the door and saw Sasuke there. Hi, Sasuke-chan. The blonde man said with a smile. Hi, I brought you a present. Which one? This one. Holding out the box to Naruto, the girl said. Opening it, he saw a blood-colored cloak with black fire and a kanji. Bloody fox. Thank you, said the whole red guy. You're welcome, the girl said, kissing the guy on the lips through the mask. Sasuke was drunk. Naruto felt the fumes, quickly knocked her out and undressed her to bed. And he himself was sleeping on the carpet. The girl woke up in a very hard bed. When she saw Naruto sleeping on the carpet, she realized that yesterday she came to him drunk to give him a gift and he knocked her out. Getting up, she cooked breakfast and woke up the blonde. When they finished the last piece, Uzumaki put on his uniform and raincoat and they went to Sasuke. Having come to her, the girl quickly put on her uniform and went with him to the Hokage. When they entered the office, they saw a tearful Kushina and Minato, who did not understand anything. Hello, Hokage-sama. Kushina-san. Hello, Fox and Wolf. Minato, I found out that in our village there is a man named Uzumaki. Naruto, he was born like Menma and Naruto, and besides, your small copy. Well, so what? Hokage said. It also said that you and I are his parents, so Naruto is our son. Yes, he is our son. The sad Hokage answered. Where is he? The woman asked. Fox, take off your mask, the fourth ordered. Naruto took off the fox mask. And that's it, show your face, the blonde senior ordered. Naruto obediently took it off and everyone saw a beautiful boy of 7 years old except Sasuke, because he closed her eyes with his palm. You are Naruto, son. The woman shouted, hugging the boy. Calm down, Kushina-san, the blonde man said without any emotion. What's wrong with you? The red-haired woman said in surprise, looking at the foxes. Anba, I am Anbu and the weapons of the village. I have to be like this, plus I became like this because of the attitude of the residents towards me, said Anbushnik, putting on a mask. I'm your mother, why do you address me as Na-san? The tearful woman asked. I don't have parents, he said, hitting Minato and Kushina's hearts very hard. I mean, there are no parents, Hokage said. You Hokage yourself started paying attention to me when I became Anbu. And so you didn't care. Kushina-san could at least once study the list of residents of Konoha. Or at least orphans, the boy said without any emotion. but you can spend the rest of your childhood normally, with a loving family. Kushina said, I told the Hokage that I did not have a childhood and will not that I'm not a child anymore, I'm Anbu. A murderer for the sake of the village and its guard, I am the man who killed 7 mist swordsmen, the blonde man said in an indifferent voice. Naruto, give us a chance. Kushina asked. Something went crazy in Naruto's heart, plus Kurama said that Minato was forced to do it by advisors and Danzo, not allowing contact with him until Jinchuriki joins the Anbu. And he agreed. Kushina was happy about this and ran to tell all the news to Mikoto, and Minato was glad that they were given a chance. Shisui, can we go on a date instead of a mission? Naruto asked. Come on, said Uchiha blushing. After that, they went to a restaurant, and after that they walked around the village and sat on Hashirama's head until 23:00. After that, he took the girl home and, after saying goodbye, teleported to his dorm and entering it, he fell on the bed and fell asleep. He woke up to a knock on the door. Approaching her, he saw Minato and Kushina there. Hi, he said, yawning. Naruto, can I see how you live? Yes, of course, he said, letting his mother into the house. She was blown away by the terrible state of the room, and when she saw what her son was eating, she was stunned. Ah, Naruto, why is there only ramen and milk here? Well, I'm like an orphan, and besides, the Jinchuriki give me pennies for food, and I save up my salary for the house. Horror, if you eat this ramen for 5 years, you can die. Said the red-haired one. Congratulations, you see in front of you a man who eats it all his life. Pointing at himself, the guy said. Naruto, you're moving in with us. Kushina said. Okay, but I won't play shinobi with my brother and sister, I'm already Anbu. After collecting all their things, they went outside and went to the Hokage's house. Having come, the door was opened by Menma and Naruka. Dad, Mom, where is our brother? The children asked eagerly. Here, pointing at Naruto, said the woman. That weakling Anbu? Menma said. He's not a weakling, that he defeated Kakashi. Minato said. I see, and do you remember that today Shisui and Sasuke will come to us for the night? Oh, yes. Kushina remembered. Naruto was shown where his room was and he began to settle in. He laid out a lot of scrolls with Menma techniques, with Naruto saw techniques from D to S rank, and he put them in a bedside table and folded several seals, put a seal that gives access to this box only to the owner. All day Naruto was putting things away and exploring the house, and when they knocked on the door, Naruto opened it for them. Hi Shisui-chan, Sasuke-chan, said the guy with the smiling eyes. Oh. Naruto-kun, I thought you lived there too, said the girl. No, I moved, he said. After letting them into the house, he went to the landfill on the territory of the Hokage house. Sasuke, Menma and Naruto decided to watch him. The training ground was large and illuminated by floodlights, and when Naruto printed out all 7 swords, he began to choose a sword for training, and he chose Zabuza's sword. What are these swords? Menma asked. I heard that these swords are possessed by 7 swordsmen of the mist, and I learned from Shisui that Naruto killed all 7 alone. The children watched as Anbu cut the trees into pieces with one weak blow, and when he finished training, he sealed it back and went into the house. Entering it, he saw Menma, Sasuke, and Naruto in front of him. Have you been watching me? Naruto asked in an indifferent voice. Who taught you? I want that too, Menma shouted. When you become a genin, then I will teach you one good technique, and who taught me is a mystery, Anbu said without any feelings. Many will now say, well, everything is fic go. Oh, and the author made Naruto kind to the family, and I will answer no. He does not get involved with them because if they make a mistake, he will leave them. And he shows emotions with feelings only for Shisui and Kurama, and if they are worthy of his trust, he will show them his real self. We continue. After entering the house, he went up to the 2nd floor and was about to go to bed, and the whole family was watching, but Naruto did not pay attention to them, and when he took off his t-shirt, everyone saw a rather muscular body with a scar on the whole body, and when he got under the blanket, he turned on his side and fell asleep. Shisui-chan doesn't want to sleep with her future husband, Namikaze said proudly. stretching out his hand to the girl in pajamas, "and I don't consider you a husband, and I'd rather sleep with Naruto," the girl said, and after thinking over the words she had just said, she ran all red into the room where she and Sasuke were sleeping. Minato and Kushina realized that Sasuke was in love with Naruto and decided to marry them when Anbu Fox, Naruto, would accept them as a family. Naruto woke up from the fact that someone was knocking on his room, coming up and opening the door. Sasuke was standing there. "Hi, Sasuke-chan, what do you need?" Anbu Fox said indifferently, yawning. "Kushina-san calls to eat," said the same age as Naruto. "I see, go tell her that I won't eat," said the guy going to brush his teeth, and Sasuke was watching this. She wanted to know what this guy's face looked like, but when he started brushing his teeth, he applied the henge, took off the mask, brushed his teeth, calmly put the mask back on and dispelled the technique. He got out of the bath and went to his room, where he dressed in Anbu uniform and went down to the first floor. "Naruto, sit down to eat," Kushina said, looking at her son. "No, I'm going to the Hokage for a mission," Anbu said as he approached the exit. Menma and Naruka were surprised at their brother's courage, because they knew that Kushina could destroy the whole village in anger. Naruto calmly walked through the village. There were almost no people. He reached the residence in 10 minutes. Entering the office, he sat down on one knee and asked for a mission. "I'm giving you a mission of SSS plus rank. You have to bring the peace treaty scrolls to Suna, Willow, Mist and Kumo." "I'll go alone." Anbu said. "No, Kakashi is coming with you," Minato said, worried about his son. "It wasn't a question," said the blonde junior, disappearing into the whirlpool of water before taking the scrolls with the peace treaty. Having appeared in the house, he put on a cloak with the chakra of all Biju and appeared at the gates of Konoha. After running out of the village, he ran to Suna for a week. Why is it so slow? He is only 7 years old and has not used the Kurama chakra. When he reached Suna, he told the guards that he had come to the Kazekage to sign a peace treaty. Then he calmly walked to the Kage residence after finding out from the guards where she was. The residents looked at him with fear, and when he approached the residence, Gaara attacked him and tried to kill him. Naruto opened the Samahata and sucked out all the chakra of Gaara, leaving him unconscious, and realizing that he was a Jinchuriki, talked to Shikaku and convinced him not to touch the boy's psyche, not to interfere with sleep, and make friends with his Jinchuriki. If anything, Naruto saw all the tailed ones and got half of their chakras, also learned the names and made friends with them. Then he carried the sandstone to the Kaga. "Hello Kazekage, my village itself wants to sign a peace treaty with yours." Minato's son said. "What's wrong with my son?" Raza asked. Worried for him, "I knocked him out and persuaded Shikaku to stop torturing him," the blonde man said indifferently. "Thank you, I'm ready to sign the contract," Kage said, taking the pen in his hand. Naruto gave him a scroll to sign and gave him a copy of the scroll about peace with Konoha. "Goodbye Kazekage-sama." "Wait, what's your nickname?" Kage asked. "You can call me Konoha's Bloody Fox." Anbu said, removing the Samahata and disappearing into the whirlpool. He appeared at the exit of the village. He ran into the stone. He was there after 5 days, running to the entrance to the village of Stone. He told them the same thing as in Sun, and they showed where the residence was. He walked there calmly, and people threw looks of interest and fear at him, coming to Tsuchikage's office. "Tsuchikage-sama, I have come on behalf of my village to sign a peace treaty with your village," said Jinchuriki Fox. "No, I'm against it," Oanoki said. "I see, then goodbye," Naruto said, leaving through the door, but he was attacked by Kage. Then the blonde just disappeared into the whirlpool, and appearing at the exit of the village, he created a dragon from a tree and flew on it to Kiri while Anbu was flying. He restored the chakra, and he flew there for 6 days. Having reached the fog, he dispelled the equipment right at the Mizukage residence. Entering the office, he said, "Hello Mizukage-sama, I have come on behalf of my village to sign a peace treaty with your village," said Jinchuriki Fox. "No, I'm against it. And why should we make peace with Konoha?" Mei said, "Well, if you don't want to, but you could get not only help from our village, but also one of the swords of the Mist Swordsman," he said, showing Hiramakari. "Where did you get it from?" Mizukage shouted. Of course it was difficult to kill all the swordsmen, but it was worth it. he said, showing the swords in turn and sealing them back. I agree, but you give us Hiramakari. Mizukage said. Okay, Jinchuriki said, holding out a scroll with a peace treaty and a sword. Mei signed and gave it back, and called Chijiro. Yes, Mizukage-sama, said the guy, hold this Hiramakari. He is yours and you become the new swordsman of the mist, said Kage smiling. Thank you, but how this sword was Mangetsu Hozuki and he died from Anbu Konoha. I killed all the swordsmen, and how did you know that it was Anbu Konoha? Naruto said as he was about to leave. I see, but I found out by hearsay, the new swordsman said. Naruto disappeared into the whirlpool and appeared at the exit of the village, created a dragon from a tree and flew to Kumo. He arrived there 10 days later. He appeared at the entrance to the village, telling everything the same as in the song. He went to the raikage. He walked calmly and they looked at him and did not understand what Anbu Konoha was doing here. When he came to the raikage, Hey attacked him, but Naruto did not get confused and put a paralyzing seal on the Kage raikage. I have come on behalf of my village to sign a peace treaty with your village, said Jinchuriki Fox. Raikage considered the offer. Thoughts of EY. So if we sign a contract with Konoha, we will get 2 Fuin masters, her support, and if we are lucky, at least Byakugan or Sharingan, but maybe with a small chance Uzugan. End of EY's thoughts. Okay, but if you beat my brother. Raikage said. And if I lose? Naruto asked with interest. You will give us Byakugan or Sharingan, and maybe Uzugan, said. Hey, it's a deal, said Jinchuriki, removing the seal. Bi appeared on the orders of Kage Cloud. They came to the stadium where the whole village was sitting. The fight began. Naruto printed out Samahata, and Bai took out his 8 swords. They fought on equal terms, then left kunai, shuriken, exchanged lightning techniques, and suddenly Bai enters the avatar of Gyuki, the name of the 8-tailed one, and Naruto enters the avatar of Kurama, and the battle of the braggart began. The people were surprised that this boy is Jinchuriki and so strong. Suddenly, Hachibi creates a Biju lady, and the fox created the kunai of the thunder god from his chakra with the present inside and threw it into the Biju. He did not notice him because of the lady's Biju, and the huge fox disappeared in red lightning. Once over Hachibi, he hit him with a huge Rasengan on the back, and after that, the Biju disappeared and around the defeated Bai stood in cut clothes and light cuts all over the body of Naruto, who was healing everything. After this fight, Hei signed a scroll with a peace treaty. Naruto, after the fight, he did not have a pant leg to the knee. There were many open places on both legs on the body, but most of it was covered with Anbu armor, and 4 kunai and 2 shuriken stuck out in the armor on his back, and after that, he ran to his native village. He ran there 2 days later. When he ran through Konoha, everyone looked at him in surprise. Running into the Hokage's office, he saw Kushina demanding from Minato where Naruto was. Hokage, the mission itself is almost completed. 3 of the 4 villages have signed a peace treaty, signed Kumo, Suna and Kiri, but the stone refused, said the blonde junior. Well done. You have completed the SSS plus rank mission, Minato said, smiling at his son. Minato, are you crazy to send him on such a mission? Naruto was gone for a whole month. Kushina yelled. Naruto decided to call her mom so that she would calm down or at least scream with joy and run away to Mikoto. Mom, calm down, said the blonde junior, giving the scrolls to the Hokage. Did Minato hear that? He called me mom, Kushina shouted, running away to Mikoto. Naruto, I give you 5 days of rest. Hi Hokage-sama. Anbu said, disappearing and appearing in the hallway of his parents' house. Shursui, Sasuke, Menma and Naruka were sitting in the living room. And when they saw Naruto a month later, they were delighted. Naruto-kun, where have you been? Shursui asked. I ran around the world concluding a peace treaty with Suna, Kumo and Kiri, but Willow refused, and when he came to the stairs, everyone saw a weapon stuck in Anbu's back. Naruto-kun, wait, said the older Uchiha, pulling out a weapon. Thanks. Naruto said, taking off his mask, and everyone saw a boy with blue eyes and a mask like Kakashi, but he had bruises under his eyes due to the fact that he had not slept for more than a week. When he flew to Kiri, he got some sleep, and after that, when his mask was removed, he passed out and fell face first into Shirsui's chest. The girl very quickly took the guy to his room. Naruto has been eating ramen all his journey. Naruto woke up 4 days later. Kushina, Menma, Naruto and Shisui were sitting next to him. He's finally awake, Menma said. After that, Naruto immediately began to feel his face and, feeling the mask, exhaled with relief. Sitting down, he began to look around the room and look for clothes. Naruto, what are you doing? Kushina asked. I'm looking for clothes, the guy replied indifferently. You can't do missions right now. You're too exhausted, Shisui said excitedly, pressing the guy to the bed. Mom, Menma. Naruto can come out. I don't care, Naruto said. Kushina, realizing, quickly left. Taking Menma and Naruto and left the couple alone. Naruto, after his relatives came out, hugged the girl to him and lay down. Shisui, I love you, the blonde man said, pressing the girl. You too, said Uchiha, blushing and snuggling closer to her lover. So they lay for 30 minutes, and then fell asleep. They woke up the next day, got up, went to brush their teeth, and when they came down, they greeted Kushina. It was 12:30 on the clock. Then Shisui went to her room, and Naruto wanted to go out as Kushina called out to him. Naruto, take Naruto and Menma their lunches. They ran away so quickly that I didn't have time to give them. Okay, he said to his mother as he put on his biju raincoat. If anything, the Hokage made it so that children were taken to the academy from 6, and not from 7. Naruto reached the academy. He entered the building and went to the office where he felt the chakra of Menma and Naruto. When he approached the office, the bell rang for recess. Irika came out of the classroom. Are you new? Yumino asked. I don't care about your academy. I'm ANBU. I brought the blockheads to eat, the blonde man said indifferently. I see, the teacher said, letting him pass. Hey, half-finished lightning Konoha dinner's forgotten, he said, coming up to Menma with Naruto. Thank you, brother, Naruto said, taking her lunch. Thanks, Menma said, taking his lunch. Who are you? Kiba asked. None of your damn business, Inuzuka, said the blonde man, starting to walk out of the classroom. You, the dogman yelled, attacking Anba. Naruto opened the samahata, and after holding a sword near Kiba, Inuzuka fell. Lie down, think about your behavior, the blood fox said, sealing the sword back. All the girls of the class watched as an unknown guy defeated one of the strongest students in one fell swoop. Who was it? Ino asked Naruto. Our brother, he serves in the ANBU. Brother Naruto killed 7 mist swordsmen and ran for a month, made peace with the villages. Naruto replied. Cool, said all the girls who listened to Yamanaka's conversation with Namikaze. After the academy, all the clan girls asked their parents about the killer of the 7 mist swordsmen. Yamanaka Ikizoku Chapter House. Dad, what do you know about the killer of the 7 mist swordsmen? Well, he's your age, the son of Hokage, ANBU, Inoichi said. The house of the head Hyuga Ikizoku. Dad, what do you know about the killer of the 7 mist swordsmen? Asked Hinata. What? Hayashi asked, choking on his tea. Well, he is ANBU, the son of Hokage, a strong shinobi. Are you interested in him? Hayashi said. If anything, Hinata in this world is bold, a greyhound and all that. Naruto walked after the academy until the evening. When he came to the house, he greeted in the style of Kakashi and went to his room. Entering the room, he saw Menma, Naruto, Kiba, Hinata, Ino, and Sasuke trying to open a box with techniques. Well, how to open this fig box? Menma whined, hitting the box with his hand. Oh, you guys are trying in vain not to open it, and if you can, then you will not study these techniques. Anbu said with a bit of mockery. We can and we will study. Kiba and Menma yelled in unison. These are scrolls with the techniques of the element of wood, and you have a chance to awaken it from 1% to 10%, said Naruto, taking out the scrolls and creating a chair made of wood. How? The students of the academy shouted. I have the element of wood, the fox said with a sneer in his voice. Cool. Menma, Naruto and their friends shouted. Everyone, get out of my room. Anbu said without expressing emotion. After they left, Naruto asked the schizophrenia with 9 tails if he had recovered. Yes, You recovered, said the fox, falling asleep. Naruto decided to write books as his godfather. But about what? Naruto's thoughts. So what should I write about? Porn? No, I'm not a pervert. About the difficult life of shinobi and his adventures with battles. And Naruto's thoughts. After his thoughts, he went to bed. He woke up at 6:30, got up, dressed, went to perform morning procedures, put on ANBU uniform and went to the first floor, where he ate, and then left the house and went to the Hokage. Entering the office, he sat on his knee and asked for a mission. I'm giving you an S+ rank mission. Protecting the castle of the daimyo of fire with you will go Kakashi. The mission duration is a month. Be at the exit of the village in 30 minutes, Minato said, this time more worried about his son. Hi, said the blonde junior, disappearing. Then Minato told Kakashi the same thing. After 30 minutes at the exit of Konoha, Naruto and Kakashi met and immediately ran away towards the daimyo's castle. They reached it in 5 days. Arriving, they climbed up the wall and the guards stood in front of them. Are you two? One of the guards asked in a trembling voice. We are ANBU Konoha, Kakashi said. Follow me, another guard said. ANBU went after him. He brought them to the daimyo. Hello daimyo-sama, we have come to protect you, your family and the castle with servants. Hurrah! Konoha shinobi, said the joyful daimyo, clapping his hands. Suddenly, an explosion sounded. Everyone ran out and climbed the wall. They saw an army of Nukanins led by some guy. Mirasure, daimyo, surrender and then we will not touch your family, but calmly kill you and seize power in the land of fire, he shouted, spreading his hands. Fuck you, Naruto said, folding the seals. Mokuton, Mokuryu no Jutsu. The blonde man shouted, launching a dragon from a tree into the army. The dragon destroyed about half of the troops, and he destroyed the other half using Kurama's avatar. The daimyo thanked the ANBU and gave them rooms to sleep in. For a whole month they defended the castle and the daimyo's family. During this time Naruto and Kakashi became friends and became good friends, and one day Mirasure gathered all his forces, the whole army, and went to the castle, when the cause of all the trouble said that he gathered all his strength to kill everyone at once. Naruto was enraged by this and he shouted, Senpo Mokuton. Shin Susenju, a huge Buddha statue appeared that destroyed the entire army. The daimyo praised and thanked ANBU and officially gave Naruto the nickname Bloody Fox. After this terrible, difficult mission, they returned to Konoha. After reporting to the Hokage, they went home. When Naruto came home, he saw Kushina drinking tea with Mikoto. Yo, said Naruto, going to his room. Hi, Naruto. Kun, said Uchiha, waving her hand with a slight smile on her face. Hi, son, Kushina said with a smile. Naruto went up to the second floor. Entering the room, he fell face down into the pillow and fell asleep. He woke up the next day from Kushina's screams. Jinchuriki came down. What happened? Naruto said, yawning. Naruka was offended by a girl from another class and then a skirmish began. And in the end this girl called her to sort things out today at the academy's training ground in 30 minutes. Son, please help her, Kushina said. Okay, said the blonde man, coming out of the house. He came there when it all started and he saw that girl of his age with a boy of about 15 with a leaf bandage and a chunin vest. Naruto appeared near Naruto. Naruka, stay here, I'll figure it out. ANBU said. Who is this? Okay, I don't care if he's weaker than my brother, but Ashimaru, the academy student said, and then asked her brother, Kr. Bloody Fox, shouted the guy, starting to move back. Yes, it's me, and now I'm going to chop you into pieces. If it weren't for you, I would be calmly reading a book or sharpening swords right now, he said, taking out the sword of Zabuza, releasing his ki and approaching them. From such an action, Chunin was scared and quickly explained to his sister who it was, what he had done. The girl got scared and ran away with her brother. Naruto sealed the sword and approached Naruka. Thank you, brother. Naruto's sister shouted with happiness, smiling and hugging her brother. That's it, I'm off, said Naruto, yawning, and disappeared into Shunshin. ANBU appeared at the training ground. Naruto did all the exercises 500 times, 1 hour and 30 minutes. Killed the blonde for a warm-up. Jinchuriki decided to create a technique like Raikiri. Naruto began to concentrate the chakra in his hand and give it the shape of a blade and add the element of wind. 30 seconds after the creation of the technique, an explosion occurred that threw its creator 50 meters away. So Naruto trained all day, and by the end of the day he had created a full-fledged technique that cut everything into very small pieces. When he got home, he greeted everyone and went to bed. He woke up from the explosion. I dressed quickly and looked at the time there. It was 5:40 in the morning. Running to the scene of the explosion, he saw there an army of stone consisting of 1,600 shinobi. Hokage, surrender, or give up the Jinchuriki and a few Uchiha with Hyugas and then we won't destroy you all. Oanoki said. No, Naruto said. Instead of Minato, Tsuchikage, you will pay for the attack on the leaf, said Naruto, activating Yuzugan. Naruto instantly jumped into the center of the army by printing out the Kubikurabocho, Zabuza sword, and immediately began to cut enemies. Description of the battle. Naruto found himself in the middle of the army. Immediately cut 2, then using a fireball burned 4. Then Uzumaki used Rasengan, killing one enemy, quickly cut off the head of the shinobi who was standing near the bricklayer, killed by Rasengan. Naruto activated Susanoo to armor covered without legs and creating a Kubikurabocho from Kurama's chakra and holding the wind chakra into a real sword, and the sword from the chakra was covered with the element of wind, and at one point, the blonde created clones with Susanoo. The massacre began. Masons let earth techniques into Susanoo, and some fire and water with lightning. Uzumaki cut 50 enemies with one swing of his sword. Tsuchikage created the atomic splitting technique and destroyed clones in 2 attempts when there were about 100 enemies left. Along with Oanoki, Naruto had chakras for one technique and that was very powerful. Why can't he use other techniques? And the point of shinobi is to dodge, and Tsuchikage will then be able to grab Uzumaki and kill at one convenient moment. Naruto began to form the technique, and when it was ready he shouted, Kazunokami no Jujutsu, Kami no Ha, Wind God's technique, God's blade. Naruto ran to Tsuchikage along the way, destroying the remaining shinobi with the technique, and when he reached, he pierced the stone Kage and smiled under the mask, and seeing Oanoki's face realized something was wrong, and suddenly the blonde spat out a blood clot like Tsuchikage. Blonde scum, you took the life of many of my shinobi and now you're taking mine, but I'll take yours in return, Kage said with a grin, pushing the katana harder into the guy's body. I'm not going to die, but who's going to die here for sure is you and your filthy army, and you didn't take into account that I'm a Jinchuriki and I have a crazy regeneration, the Hokage's son said, folding the seals with one hand. Puppy, you think you didn't think about it. My kunai is smeared with the poison in which the Biju chakra consists, and it kills enemies faster, and does not allow other Jinchuriki to regenerate. Makiden, Wood Hell, Kushina's son said after finishing the technique. Wood Hell is a Naruto technique. It creates wood spears around a stationary target in the number of 100 pieces. At the moment of the end of the folding of the seals, the spears pierced Oanoki, killing him. Before his death, Tsuchikage created an atomic cleavage in the shape of a cube and split Naruto's hand, which was in Anoka's chest. I explained that Naruto could create this technique in one day, because Rasengan is the rotation of the chakra in all directions, the transformation of the shape of the chakra and its containment. So he could create that technique, and besides, he's a genius. The second is why Oanoki just didn't die like the rest of the shinobi. The technique was weakened by the killing of 99 people and therefore could not finish off Oanoki. That's it, the massacre is finally over, Naruto said and breathed out in relief, holding the place from which the blood was coming, starting to go to Konoha. He was attacked by Anbu Root. Why no one ran to help Naruto? Danzo and Anbu Root built a powerful barrier and prevented Kushina from breaking it by attacking her with kunai, and sometimes she had to stop the destruction of the barrier. Naruto started to defend himself with a sword, but Danzo came in from behind and tried to kill. The blonde dodged and cut the throat of Anbu Root. Kurama, give me the chakras, please, Naruto said mentally. Here you go, said the fox, falling asleep. Naruto entered Biju mode and started killing Danzo's subordinates, and when the head of the root remained, the regime ended, And the disciple of the second said, Demon, give me the nine-tailed one and your eyes, Shimura said in a commanding tone, removing the bandages from his arm and face. When all the bandages were asleep, the head of the root appeared in front of everyone with 3 sharingans on his hand made from the cells of the first and 1 sharingan in the right eye socket. The fight began in taijutsu. Danzo barely dodged the blows of the blonde. And at one point Naruto pierces Shimura's heart, and he appeared behind Minato's son and wanted to pierce, but Naruto created Susanoo and defended himself and cut the brunette with Susanoo's sword. The student of the second one stood in front of the blonde and let the wind blades with air bullets into him. Uzumaki's defense withstood the attacks. Kushina's son noticed that 2 eyes on his hand were closed. The blood fox let chains into the elder Uzumaki. They pierced Hiruzen's friend and then the last eye on the hand closed and remained alone in the socket of the head of the Anbu root. Little shit, I'll take the kubi with your eyes and become a Hokage, Tsukiyomi. Shimura shouted, looking into Naruto's eyes with a Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto didn't get into Genjutsu's because his eyes are the strongest in the world. The blonde man came up and tore out the Sharingan and tied the Shimura with a Shakropatavliaski fishing line and in a 2-fold case put the seal of suppression. Naruto came up to the village carrying Shimura and finally Kushina was able to dispel the barrier because she stopped interfering with the root Anbu. The red-haired woman ran with all speed to hug her son. When she reached, the woman hugged the blonde, and he hugged her back. After that, Danzo was imprisoned and the seals were removed from the root Anbu. Naruto's battle was watched by the Naruto family, the Uchiha family and many Chunins, Chunins with genins and residents, and when the residents realized that he fully owns the power of the kubi, they were able to understand that he would not harm them, but protect them. After he hugged his mom, the blonde passed out. Anbu woke up in the hospital. Shursui was lying sleeping next to him. Naruto pressed the sleeping girl to him and began to look at her, stroking her head. Then the girl purred like a cat and only snuggled closer to the guy. Minato came into the room and sat down on another chair standing near the window. Naruto, I want you to go as an ambassador to the villages that have made peace with us and live in each for a month. I have agreed with Kage on a good hotel with a room and something else. You can take 2 people with you, the sad Hokage said, realizing that he would not see his son for several months, and even though he spoke to him only as an Anbu, and not as a son. Mission accepted, Naruto said indifferently, stroking the girl who climbed from the chair onto the patient's bed. Forgive me, I'm guilty, I repent of this and I'm ready to be punished for abandoning you. You can hate me, despise me, but please don't behave like a killing machine without feelings. At least with Kushina, Menma and Naruka, behave like an ordinary person, Minato said, kneeling in front of his son, repenting. Father, I am not offended, but my trust must be earned and then I will show my feelings and emotions, Naruto said, standing up and extending his hand to his father. Hokage accepted his son's help and stood up. The blonde junior woke up the girl and said that she would live with him for 3 months in other villages. After these words, the girl immediately ran home to pack her things. Naruto moved to Kakashi, who at that time was lying in a bubble bath and playing with ducks, and when the blonde appeared, this picture made him laugh. A 20-year-old man is lying in the bathtub and playing with ducks. Naruto, your bijou down the drain. Are you awesome? Shouted Hatake. Calm down, duck man. I came to tell you that you will be with me and Shursui on a mission that will go for 3 months and we will visit 3 villages, Naruto said, laughing at this picture. Kakashi, be at Konoha's main gate in 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, a guy and a girl were standing at the gates of Konoha and were waiting for someone, and a white-haired Chunin appeared in front of them. Kakashi-san, what do you have in this iron case? Shursui asked, looking at the object. Ducks, Hatake replied with a serious face. What? Said the Uchiha, having precipitated. My ducks are there, just don't tell anyone. Hatake asked, clutching the case to himself. After that, the team moved to Suna. Emi, Kakashi-san, you are 20 years old and you play ducks, said the brunette, chastising Chunin as a 10-year-old boy playing with dolls. They reached it in 3 days. Entering the gate, they were met by Raza and his family. Hello, Bloody Fox and the rest of the companions from Konoha, Kazekage said with a smile. "Hello Rei-sama, Gaara. How is Shikaku doing there?" the blonde man greeted, and then asked a question, "Hello. Bloody fox, thanks to you, I made friends with the tailed one and was able to live normally, but he is doing great, often goes out for a walk and always runs around the house fighting with a ball or with a ball of wool." "I see," the blonde man said, smiling under the mask and rejoicing that Rikudo's creation is living well. "Kazekage-sama can show our hotel room?" Hataki asked, clutching the case with the ducks. "Yes, of course. But can I find out what you have in your case?" Kage asked, suspecting something. Naruto noticed this and said, "Don't be afraid, there are toys of this 20-year-old man." The blonde said the first thing that came to mind. After these words, the race imagined what kind of toys they were, but I'll tell you it's definitely not ducks. When they reached the hotel, Kazekage gave them the keys, and when Shisui and Kakashi came in, Kage asked Naruto what kind of toys Hataki had. "Ducks." The blonde man replied with a serious expression. After these words, the Kazekage family could hardly restrain themselves from laughing. The sandstones left, and Naruto went into the room, and I saw this picture of Shisui putting things in closets, and Kakashi takes out his army of ducks and carries her into the bath. The bloody fox took off his shoes and went to put things away. After spreading out, the guy took off his raincoat because it was too hot, and so in the end the guy was lying in shorts and a t-shirt with a mask. After 30 minutes, the blonde belly said that he wanted to eat. Anbu went to the kitchen and saw Shisui eating ice cream, and Hataki taking wooden boats out of the bag. Naruto did not notice that the copyist took out a bottle of sake and how the mouse ran into the bath, but calmly went to the refrigerator and opened the freezer door. He saw a box of ice cream and took 2 pieces and closed it. Naruto went to his room and there he ate a cooling treat, and after that he called Shisui for a walk. The girl wore a dress like Kushina's, only not green, but black. Naruto wore a t-shirt instead of a t-shirt, sun goggles and a cap. A couple of Konokovites left the hotel and went for a walk along the main street. When they passed near the Suna Academy, they saw Gaara in the company of friends. After looking for a minute, they went on, but the students noticed them. "Gaara, who is this?" the friend of the red-haired man asked. "This is a shinobi from Konoha. They will stay here for a month and leave here. This is how the trust of villages to each other is being established," the son of the race replied. "I see," the girl said. After the walk, they returned to the hotel. Going into the room, they saw a boozy Kakashi with ducks on the couch. Uzumaki and Uchiha began to clean up the mess caused by Hataki. After cleaning, Shisui went to wash, and when the girl came out, the blonde went. When Minato's son came out of the bath and closed the door, he saw Shisui in a top and short shorts. "Naruto-kun, let's go to bed," the girl said with a smile, but her face was all red. The girl brought the guy to his room and threw Uzumaki on the bed, lay down next to him, hugging him and looking into his blue eyes like a cloudless sky. So for people who think that there will be hentai, there will be no hentai. She is 11, and he is 8, well, you understand. The rest of the month they walked, trained and tried to stop Kakashi's addiction to playing with ducks with sake. After a month of staying in sun, everyone was tanned, and sometimes Naruto created clones so that no one would see his face and that everything would be tanned. After Suna, they went to the cloud. Kakashi had to destroy the ducks, which the white-haired man was not happy about, and then he started reading Jiraiya's books again. They reached Kuma in 10 days. When Anbu Konoha's team approached the cloud gate, they were met by Hei, Bai, and Yujito. "Hello Reikage-sama," Anbu said in chorus with respect in his voice. "Hello, I am pleasantly surprised that Konoha sent Jinchuriki as an ambassador," Hei said. "Well, it will only strengthen the trust and the union of villages," Naruto said. "Come on," Hei said, pointing with his hand to follow him. At this time, Yujito was glaring at the blonde man with the raincoat. "Matatabi, why do I feel your and other Biju's chakras in this cloak?" "Yugi, we Biju met with him and gave half of his chakra, and now Naruto has all our powers," Biju replied. "I see, but what do you know about him?" Jinchuriki asked again. "That's it," said a huge cat. "And now, girlfriend, tell me what he likes and his relationship with this Uchiha interested you?" "Well, sort out your feelings yourself. Name, Naruto Uzumaki. Father, Minato Namikaze. Mother, Kushina Uzumaki. Brother, Menma Namikaze. Sister, Naruko Namikaze. Girl, Shursui Uchiha. Love. Food, ramen. Job, Anbu. I was an orphan until I was 6 years old, until I gave my parents a chance. There are almost no friends. I won't tell sensei, Jinchuriki of all Biju. I told Biju about the guy. I wonder if you can show your face? Ni asked hopefully. No, he asked us not to show his face to his Jinchuriki. After questioning Biju, the girl came out of her subconscious and tearing her eyes away from the guy. She thought why she was so interested in this blonde. When they reached the hotel, they saw a huge and beautiful building. Having entered it, they were given keys and shown where the room was. I in the room. Their room turned out to be huge, 4 bedrooms, 2 toilets, 2 showers, a huge living room, and in the kitchen there was a huge refrigerator, a table for 10 people. In one room there was a jacuzzi and a panoramic glass from which you could watch the beautiful views. Naruto took a bedroom near the balcony overlooking the village. Shursui decided to live in the same bedroom as the blonde. Kakashi took the largest one, which was located near the kitchen, and in the room Yujito was sitting at home and thinking about Naruto. She didn't understand why she was interested in a completely unfamiliar guy, or maybe she found a kindred soul who, like her, experienced the hatred and contempt of the inhabitants. Naruto and his team trained in Kenjutsu and Taijutsu, but they didn't want to show ninjutsu. Yujito watched this and admired the blonde's strength, even though Yujito was a Hunin, but she was surprised by Uzumaki's tricks and tricks. A month passed in such trainings. Minato-san took Shursui to the most expensive restaurant several times, and one day he invited her to become his girlfriend, and when he turned 16 to become his wife, the girl happily rushed at her boyfriend and started kissing him on the lips through the mask, and when she got tired of the mask, she lowered the cloth and bit into the guy's lips. The kiss lasted 2 minutes until the lovers ran out of air. Naruto instantly put the mask back on and made his eyes smile. This was watched by the two-tailed Jinchuriki, and it hurt her when he offered to meet the Uchiha and when she attacked to kiss the guy especially, but she did not understand why. After that, they went to the room to pack their things. Having gathered, they slept for the last time in this hotel and got out to the rakeage, and after talking they went to the exit. Approaching the Jinchuriki gate, the fox created a dragon out of wood. He and his companion sat on the dragon. Kanakovtsi flew in 10 days. They landed at the entrance to the village of Mist. Chijiro was standing in front of the gate. "Hi," the blonde man said, landing in front of the swordsman. "Hello Fox-sama," said the owner of Hiramakari, bowing. "It is possible without suffixes. Well, how did you learn to use a sword?" The blonde man said. "Yes, I have learned and now I can use it freely," said the swordsman, showing the sword. "Well done, and you can take us to the room." I inserted my 5 kopecks to Kakashi. "Of course, let's go," said the owner of Hiramakari, indicating with his hand that it is necessary to follow him. Walking through the village, Kanakovtsi saw that all the residents walk sad and seemingly lifeless bodies. Okay, adults, but even children are like that. When they reached the hotel, they were given the keys and shown where the room was. Having settled down, the Kanakovites went about their business. One day Shursui was walking with Naruto and they passed by the academy and noticed that the children were being taught Fuina. The blonde noticed the seal and realized that it was wrong and went to fix it. "Hello, and who made this seal?" Minato-san asked. "I am," the teacher said with pride. "Then I want to congratulate you. You did shit," Naruto said, breaking the seal. "You're a fucking trifle." The teacher shouted, "Your Fuin is terrible, and I want to tell you I am a Fuinjutsu master from Konoha," Naruto said, drawing the seal that the teacher had at the Fog Academy, but only smoother and more details. "Here, this is the perfect explosion seal," said the blonde, showing her. "Okay, since such a master, then let's have an argument," suggested Shinobi. "Which one?" Kushina-san asked. "Who better to make the seal of paralysis? If you win, you will get one of the mist swords." "No, you're deceiving me. There was no way you could get the mist swords because I have 6 out of 7, and I gave the 7th to Mizukage." "Wow, the dog figured it out. Then let me give you a scroll with the abilities of swords, and if I win, then give me all the swords, okay?" said the teacher smiling. Agreed, said the blonde man taking out a piece of ink. The shinobi of the fog got the same thing as the blonde. Shursui gave the go-ahead and they started drawing. Konakovitz drew slowly, but carefully drew everything, and the teacher quickly began to draw, and forgot to add details to the print. When they finished, they stood opposite each other, the first to attach the seal of the teacher to Naruto. The blonde got out in 2 seconds and put his seal on the shinobi. He tried to get out and in the end could not. I won, Naruto said, tearing off the seal. RGHOK, here you go, he said, throwing the scroll to the guy. The teacher noticed Mizukage and decided to deceive her and say that he had defeated him in Fuin and now he must carry swords. Mizukage-sama, this blonde guy deceived me, even though I defeated him in Fuin and now he owes us swords, but he does not give them away and just took the scroll with the abilities of swords. Is that true, Lee-san? Terumi asked in disbelief. No, I defeated him, there are witnesses, children and Shursui.anbu said. Shursui-chan, is it true that Fox-san won? Mei asked, hoping that the blonde had won. Yes, it's true, said the girl with a smile snuggling up to the guy. I see, Mirato, you will be in jail for a week for cheating, Terumi said, hooking Shinobi and leading him to prison. Let's go pack up, Shursui said with a smile and rejoicing that she would finally be at home. Naruto moved them to the room and there they began to collect things, and Hatake noticed this and followed their example. After 10 minutes, everyone gathered, went down, left the key to the room and went to the gate of the village of mist. Naruto created a dragon out of wood and everyone sat on it and flew to Konoha. They arrived in the list in 10 days. Naruto dispelled the technique upon arriving in the village. Kakashi went home dragging his bags, and Naruto created a clone who dragged his things into the house. The original helped Shursui carry things. Having brought the head of the Uchiha clan to the house, the girl kissed the guy and said goodbye to him, took things and brought them to her room. Kushina's son teleported home, and he appeared in the hallway. He saw Mikoto, Kushina, Sasuke, Menma and Naruto playing a board game. Hi, said the blonde passing by. Where have you been? Menma asked with interest. Well, I lived in other villages for a month and rested, Uzumaki said indifferently. Well, I went to bed. Anbu said as he climbed the stairs. Going into the room, he went to bed. He woke up the next day from a knock on the door. Minato was standing there. Good morning, Naruto, please, you can teach your sister's class for a week. Iruka is sick, Hokage asked with a smile. Okay, I'll be there in 30 minutes. The blonde junior put on a raincoat with a biju, a t-shirt and black trousers, took pouches with kunai and shurikens and the most sacred book of Jiraiya. Arriving at the academy, he entered the classroom. Hello, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. I will be your temporary teacher while Iruka recovers. What topic are you going through? Said, and then asked Masaknik elements of chakra and dojitsu. Sasuke said. The bell rang. All the students were sitting in the classroom. Start. 5 Elements. Natural transformations are the fundamental natures of the chakras, which are the basis of all natural ninjutsu. They turned out to be so important in the daily life of shinobi that each of them, the 5 great shinobi countries, took the name of one of the 5 elements. In fact, if a spontaneous technique is placed against another spontaneous technique of the same level, but of a stronger nature, then the technique of a superior nature will prevail. Nevertheless, a technique with a weaker nature can overpower a technique with a stronger nature if the first one has a higher level. For example, fire can overpower water equipment if it is initially reinforced by wind technology. Basically, each person's chakra has a predisposition to one of the 5 natural transformations. Predisposition can sometimes be genetic or at least common to a particular family. Most members of the clan Uchiha have a predisposition to the nature of fire. Your predisposition can be determined using pieces of paper made from a special kind of tree that is grown and fed with the help of the chakra. When the paper is exposed to even the slightest hint of one of the natures of the chakra, it reacts in accordance with the hidden nature of the chakra, fire. The paper ignites and turns to ash, wind. The paper is torn in 2. Lightning. The paper is doubtful, earth. The paper will rot and crumble, water. The the paper will become damp or wet will be easier. For a shinobi to learn how to create and control those chakra natures to which he is predisposed, despite the fact that even so it may take some years to fully master. Shinobi are not limited by nature, to which they have a predisposition, because, in fact, most Hunins own two natures. Despite the fact that it is technically possible to master all five natures, this is very rare due to the limited time involved in training. Madara Uchiha, Hiruzen Sarutobi Hashirama Senju, Tobirama Senju, Mu, Kakashi Hatake and Orochimaru are the only shinobi who have achieved this by conventional means, dojutsu ninja abilities, consisting in the use of their own eyes, which is a byproduct improved genome or Kekkei Mora. The term refers both to the eyes themselves, which have a certain number of passive skills, and to some techniques based on the use of the eyes. For the first, the user usually uses little or no chakra. In the second case, the costs depend on the technique itself. Dojutsu can be transferred to other people by eye transplantation, although in this case the use of dojutsu is limited or dangerous for those who are not genetically predisposed to it. When the user's eyes are overstrained, access to the use of dojutsu may be suspended for a while. However, this does not mean that the user will be completely exhausted, which means he will still be able to use other techniques. Byakugan is a dojutsu of the improved genome of the Hyuga clan. It is considered one of the three great dojutsu, along with Sharingan and Rinnegan. Sharingan is a dojutsu of the improved genome of the Uchiha clan, which selectively manifests itself in its members. He is considered one of the three great dojutsu along with Byakugan and Rinnegan. Mange-kai Sharingan. The main distinguishing feature of Mange-kai Sharingan from ordinary Sharingan is its appearance, which changes the shape of the Tomo seal. The exact pattern varies from carrier to carrier, but swirls are common to all. Usually awakens from psychological trauma caused by the death of a person close to the owner. Throughout history, the Uchiha have misinterpreted this condition as the need for their own responsibility for the death of a loved one, and for this reason they have developed the practice of killing their closest friends to obtain Mangekyo Sharingan. Rinnegan is considered the most majestic of the three great dojutsu, to which Byakugan and Sharingan also belong. Rumor has it that the owner of the Rinnegan was sent down from heaven to become the god of creation, who will establish balance in the world, or the god of destruction, who will reduce everything to nothing. Rinnegan characterizes a purple pattern, similar to ripples on water, which spreads across the eyeball. Uzugen is the dojutsu of the Uzumaki clan, but however, not everyone can awaken it. This eye has the abilities of a Rinnegan, and one individual ability. Also these eyes can impose a powerful genjutsu. The bell from the lesson rang, the children ran out into the street, and Naruto sat down on a chair and put his feet on the table and began to read Jiraiya's book. When Sasuke was punching past the office, she noticed that Naruto was sitting and reading a book and saw, inscription for persons over 18. Sasuke approached the guy and shouted in his ear, "Pervert." The girl shouted, removing the book from the guy and pressing her face to the guy's face almost closely, Sasuke-chan, you can remove your face, Naruto asked, blushing. Well, no, I'm going to see your face, Naruto-kun, said the girl, tearing off the mask, and after the words digging into the lips of the blonde, the girl was delighted when the guy responded to the kiss. After finishing the kiss, the girl managed to stop the guy's hand and look at his face. Naruto-kun, you're beautiful, then why are you wearing a mask? Whispering, asked the girl, hugging the guy sitting on him. I wear it out of habit, and why shine my face in front of others, so only faster the clan will look for me a wife from another clan, Naruto said, smiling at all 32, well, then, and my sister told me that you're her boyfriend. It doesn't matter, I won't give you to her so easily. The same whispering, said Uchiha Jr., hugging the guy harder. Sasuke, go sit down in your seat, the lesson will begin now, Naruto whispered, putting on his mask and making his eyes smile. Okay, Naruto-kun. The girl said with a smile, getting up from the guy and going to her place. The bell rang and other students rushed into the classroom. Students, now I'm giving you to choose the topic of the lesson, that the blonde man said indifferently. Mist swordsmen and their swords, Sasuke shouted. 12 fire protectors. One of the Sarutobi shouted. 1 Hokage. Kiba shouted, for Hokage. Naruto shouted with Menma, clans. Someone from Akimichi shouted, mist swordsmen and swords. Someone from Yamanaka shouted, so what did you choose? Naruto asked. Ignoring the shouts, the 4th Hokage said, everyone except Sasuke. Let's start. Minato Namikaze is the 4th Hokage of the Hidden Leaf, known as Konoha's Yellow Lightning. And he got this nickname due to his speed and Hiraishin technique, the teacher of Jiraiya the Great. Sannin, the 4th, invented the Rasengan technique. Hokage's wife Kushina Uzumaki, on October 10th, almost 7 years ago, the Hokage had 3 children. The firstborn was named Naruto Uzumaki, the second was named Menma Namikaze, and the last was named Naruto Namikaze. But on that day the village was destroyed by a 9-tailed who was later sealed in the firstborn Hokage and handed over to a shelter. Told about Minato. Naruto, let's do something else, Naruto said, examining Samahata, a mist swordsmen and their swords. They all said in unison, okay. The 7 Shinobi Swordsmen of the Mist is an organization consisting only of the greatest shinobi swordsmen of their generation who exist in Kirigakura. It can only have 7 members at a time, hence the name. The swords of the 7 swordsmen have been passed down from generation to generation since the first Mizukage. Together, 7 swordsmen are able to defeat an entire country and are considered the strongest shinobi in the village after Mizukage. And the strongest generation of swordsmen, there were such people as Zabuza Mami, Jinin Akabino, Mengetsu Hozuki, Kushimaru Kuriere Amuri Ringo, Fuguki Suikazan and Jinpachi Munashi. Swords. Kubikura Bocho is a giant sword with the appearance of a butcher's knife, the owner of which can use a semicircle on the blade to chop off the enemy's head, from which the name comes. The sword has the ability to regenerate using iron absorbed from the blood of those it kills. He is also nicknamed the decapitating sword. Located at my place, Samahata is the most terrifying of the 7 swords. It has the appearance of a giant sword covered with shark scales. It is a sentient, living weapon that has the ability to devour the chakra. He is also nicknamed the Great Sword. It is located with me. Hiramakari is a double-handled bandaged sword that can store and radiate the user's chakra, which can then take different forms. He is also nicknamed the Twin Sword. Now he is in the village of Hidden Fog. Kabutovari is a sword consisting of a one-sided axe and a hammer connected by a long belt. It was said that he was able to destroy any defense. He is also nicknamed the Blunt Sword. It is located with me. The Nobari is a needle-shaped sword with a long thin wire that resembles a thread attached to it. It can be used to pierce enemies and stitch them together into a human knot. He is also nicknamed the Long Sword. It is located with me. Shibuki is a sword that holds a scroll filled with explosive seals that are lined up behind the blade, which allows you to combine swordsmanship and explosions. He is also nicknamed the Explosive Sword. It is located with me. Kiba dashed. What do you need, loser? Inazuka asked. I'm not talking about you, but about the sword, said Naruto indifferently. Kiba paired swords imbued with lightning that increase their cutting power. These are the sharpest swords ever forged. They are also nicknamed Thunder Swords. It is located with me. The blonde finished showing all the swords. Free, Naruto said. Everyone went home. Returning home, Menma demanded to be trained. Okay, follow me, said Naruto. Arriving at the training ground, the bloody fox explained how to walk on trees and water and showed how to do it. Menma also tried to do it as quickly as possible to show his brother that he was a genius. Not this Anbu, but he didn't succeed. In the Uchiha's house, Sasuke came home and started looking for her parents. Sis, where are your parents and Itachi? Uchiha Jr. asked. They went to Grandma and Grandpa's. Anbu replied. I'm the first, Sasuke said, pointing at herself with her thumb. What's the first one? Shursui asked in surprise. I was the first to see Naruto-kun's face, said the student of the academy, pleased with herself. How? How did you see it? Shursui Tresia asked her sister with interest. Well, I came up and shouted that he was a pervert, then approached his face almost closely and said that I intended to see his face, tore off the mask and kissed him on the lips, and then confessed my love to him, the student told blushing. After that, Shursui realized that there would be a war for the blonde between her and Sasuke. I won't give you this blonde so easily, my little silly younger sister, said Anbu, going to her room to come up. With a plan to capture Uzumaki's heart, Sasuke did the same. Menma and Naruto returned to the house where they ate and went to bed. Menma lay and thought about how to humiliate his brother, and maybe get rid of him. Menma began to hate Naruto more and more because he is better than him in everything. Even the girls he likes took away. The blonde junior realized if Naruto did not become, then Sasuke and Shursui would come to him and in the future become his wives, and the whole village, no, the whole world recognizes Menma as the strongest shinobi. Menma got out of bed and took a kunai from his pouch and went to Naruto's room. Going into it, he stood over the guy and imagined how everyone was praising him and bowing like a god, and after he came out of his dreams, he raised the kunai and almost hitting his brother's heart. Minato stops him. Menma, what are you doing? Minato shouted, startled. I was trying to get rid of a small problem on the way to strength, happiness, and power. He took those I love, he took my Sasuke and Shursui. This trash is better than me in everything, and I decided to get rid of this problem. Naruto's brother shouted with hatred in his voice and ran at Naruto with kunai. Uzumaki woke up from the scream and immediately printed out the samahata, stood up in a stance and repelled the kunai, put the sword to the throat of the student. Menma, you are also punished for trying to kill your brother. I will assign you to the weakest team and you will not be able to rise no higher than Hunin, he said, looking at his son with sadness, anger and misunderstanding. It won't stop me from becoming a god, the boy shouted, smiling and talking like a madman. I'm moving, I don't want to worry about my life while I'm sleeping or not sleeping at all, Naruto said as he gathered his things. Son, let me help you, Kushina said, disappointed in her second son. I perfectly understand why you want to move, but don't stop communicating with us, said the sad Hokage. I won't stop communicating with you and even start showing emotions with feelings, but after the birthday I'm not going to talk to this psycho, Naruto said, smiling with his eyes at his family except for his brother. Minato gave the old keys to the blonde's apartment and said that tomorrow he would bring the keys to a good and expensive house. Sasuke knocked on the door of the Hokage's house. Kushina opened it. Hello, Kushina-san, and you can call Naruto. He moved. Sad Uzumaki said. Why? Asked the surprised Uchiha. At night, Menma tried to kill Naruto and he left us so as not to fear for his life, Kushina said, still not believing that her second, also beloved son almost did not kill his own brother. My Sasuke! Menma shouted, grabbing the Uchiha's hand and trying to drag her to his room. Kushina quickly unhooked her son's hand from the girl's hand and said Naruto's address and closed the door. Sasuke ran along this address. Sasuke ran to the blonde's house and saw that her sister was standing there and hugging the guy. Uchiha the younger did not want to give the guy away and ran and hugged the guy on the other side and started kissing Uzumaki, and Kushina walked past them like a dog with a leash and a measuring shirt. Mine. And only mine. An angry Menma yelled, breaking free and heading to Naruto with the girls. Uzumaki instantly created a wall of wood, and when Namikaze ran up to the wall and started hitting it, he was tied up by tree branches so tightly that he could not move and the wall disappeared. Crazy, Sasuke said, clinging to the blonde, trembling more and more. Now, I'll teach him to attack his elders. Anbu said with a bloodthirsty smile under the mask, taking out a rather large package of ramen. Jinchuriki unleashed a technique that restrained the lower part of his brother's body. Swinging harder, he planted the whole package in the ass of a psycho. The cries of the Lord of the whole world resounded throughout Konoha. Kushina didn't want her children to suffer, but if you don't pacify one, the other will suffer, so putting ramen in Menma's ass was the best option. So listen, mentally unstable, if you approach Sasuke or Shursui, then your fifth point will not be ramen, but something more than that, and I will Plant it for you on the main square of the village and you will sit on it for 1 day, said a serious Anbu looking into the eyes of a psycho. How dare you, scum? I am God. They are mine, everything is mine. The psycho shouted laughing, Mom, do you mind if I take my brother to a mental hospital, where he will be treated a little? Jinchuriki said, smiling with his eyes. No, I'll fix it up, said the woman, surprised that her son showed her emotions and feelings. All right, then. Anbu said, handing the bound psycho into his mother's arms. Kushina took the god home. Naruto told the girls that everything was fine and calmed them down. Uzumaki gave them green tea and took them home, and he went to the Hokage. When he entered the office, he saw Minato and Fugaku there. Oppa, are you signing a contract for a wedding? The blonde man said, not caring. Yes, for the wedding of Menma and Sasuke, said Uchiha, pleased with himself. Well, I think Sasuke will refuse, and Menma is no longer for girls. Today he attacked me and tried to capture his Sasuke and Shisui, because he, God, should have everything, and I got angry and stuck a whip bag in his ass. Remembering the situation, Anbu said with a smile under his mask, what did you do? The surprised Hokage shouted at his son's act. It's your own fault, Jinchuriki answered briefly and clearly. Minato, I want to conclude some kind of contract so that your son and my 2 daughters will get married at the age of 16 at Sasuke and your firstborn and my eldest daughter at 21, said Fugaku, introducing grandchildren with huge reserves of chakra and sharingans. Fugaku, I thought that maybe we won't sign the contract for the wedding of our children. I don't want to ruin your daughters' lives. Minato said reluctantly to marry his son to Fugaku's 2 daughters. All right, Minato, growled the head of the Uchiha clan, coming out of the office. Naruto, you won't teach at the academy anymore. Mizuki volunteered to replace Iruka. Therefore, I am giving an SS rank mission. You must destroy the Path organization. They are on the edge of the land of fire in the direction of Suna. Get the keys. After the mission, Naruto went out through the window, and after entering Kurama mode, he ran towards the enemies. He reached it in half a day. Having created an avatar of a fox, he blew up the lair and everyone who was in it. After the destruction, he ran to Konoha in the form of a huge fox. He ran for 2 hours. Entering the office, he sat down on one knee and said, Hokage-sama, mission accomplished. The blonde man said, not caring, so fast. Well, keep the keys and money for all the missions that you completed, but did not take the reward, said the tired Minato, because he not only signed the papers, but also fought off those who found out about the firstborn Hokage and pestered him to marry his daughter. Naruto took a pretty decent amount of money and keys with an address. When he reached the new house, he was blown away. It was a house with 2 floors and looked pretty good. When he came in, he saw an awesome repair and a lot of expensive and upholstered furniture. After the inspection, he took a bedroom on the 2nd floor and laid out his things there. There was an armory in the house for the guy's removal. He put kunai, shurikens and Anbu armor on the mannequin and left all the swords in the armory except Nabari. For safety, he put seals on paralysis on all things and also seals of paralysis, barrier and seals on the door throughout the room. After he went to the store and bought groceries, along the way the heads of the strongest clans stood in front of him and at the same time said, I want you to marry my daughter. They said in a commanding tone. After they realized that everyone wanted to marry off their daughters, they were ready to destroy other clan heads. Isn't it a little early for me to get married? I'm only 6, the blonde man said indifferently as he passed by. Everyone dispersed, and the daughters of the Yamanaka, Hyuga, Aburame, Inuzuka clans jumped on Naruto, and even Uchiha and her friends. Thank God the blonde used substitution and found himself near this crowd. I just figured out the chapters. And now you, said Anbu, who just wanted to walk home safely. I understand you attacked, but you're Sasuke, said the disappointed blonde. I tried to push you away from them. Uchiha began to justify herself. Naruto-kun, can I spend the night with you? It's just that today I quarreled with my father and he will want to see me. And Shisui, who tried to justify me, was also kicked out by her father, but according to her, she will spend the night with a friend. The Uchiha with the eyes of a Shrek cat asked, well, okay, let's go, said the blonde, lifting The girl and leading her home, the other girls watched and envied, and Sasuke's friends hated her, because they wanted to catch and take the blonde for themselves. When she reached the Uchiha's house, she saw a 2-story house. Do you live in it? Asked the amazed Uchiha. Yes. Minato-san answered, opening the door. After entering, Sasuke inspected everything, while Naruto laid out the groceries. Sasuke-chan, go take a shower and then occupy any room. Sasuke took a shower, decided that she would sleep in Naruto's room, and in the meantime, the blonde cooked ramen like in Ichiraku. Tuchi, when Naruto was 5 years old, told him a secret recipe. Uchiha came to the kitchen and sat down at the table. They ate quietly. After eating, the blonde made a bed for himself on the couch. Uzumaki fell asleep pretty quickly. In the morning, a drunk Kakashi stumbled into the blonde's house and woke the guy up and asked him to use the blonde's technique to revive objects. Kakashi, you know that I won't be able to use Yuzugen for a week then, said the blonde, introducing the picture. Well, PJ, asked Hatake on his knees. Okay, said Minato-san, activating Yuzugen. The copyist took out about 200 ducks. The blonde used one forbidden technique and revived the entire army of ducks. I, Kakashi Hatake, appoint myself Utakakage. My first order is to go into battle against a psycho. The disciple ordered the Hokage with his army. Quack, yes Utakakage. Sama, quack, the army said in chorus. The blonde and the white-haired man went out with the army and went to the Hokage's house. Along the way the ducks quacked together with Kakashi. The Hokage family, hearing a loud quacking, came out on the threshold and saw an army and a drunken Hatake with a Kage hat with a duck sign. My loyal friends and soldiers, attack this boy, said Kage Utachek, getting up near Uzumaki. Cryoton, Utaken wave. The army said in chorus, folding the seals with its wings. The lively army released a huge jet of water that hit Menma's face. Namikaze Jr. attacked the ducks on serious shields, shouting that he would destroy them all. Cryoton, Genjutsu, quack, 50 ducks said I'm directing an attack on a blonde psycho. Menma got into a genjutsu in which he was surrounded by ducks and quacked non-stop. He was rescued by Minato. You are well done. I will train you because the duck power of youth is burning in you. Let's go drink. Hatake shouted as he went to the bar with the ducks. Naruto, meanwhile, said that Kakashi barged into his house and asked to revive the ducks, and after an explanation went home. Arriving at the house, I saw Sasuke, who was waiting for the blonde. Naruto-kun, why was the quacking of ducks heard all over the village? Asked the sleepy Uchiha. Well, a drunken Kakashi came and asked me to revive the ducks and I revived him and he went to beat Menmi's face and this Utkaman appointed himself a duck. And now he is running a faith called the Duck Power of Youth. I see, let's go to bed, said Uchiha, dragging the guy. Sasuke lay down on the bed and hugged the blonde and fell asleep. Kakashi, how did you revive your army of ducks? Konoha's green beast yelled. I asked Naruto, and he revived them and now I'm a duck, said Hatake, who had departed from the booze. I want that too. I will take the power of youth to a new level. Guy shouted. Naruto woke up in Sasuke's strong arms. The blonde quickly got out of the girl's steel grip. The blonde went down and saw that there was an army of ducks, and Guy, Naruto-kun, revive my fashionable jumpsuits of youth. The beast of Konoha yelled, asking, okay, but I'll be out in the hospital for a week because of this, the blonde man said, barely activating the Yuzugen, reviving about 300 overalls. Naruto passed out after the application. The white-haired man grabbed him and carried him to the hospital. The blonde lay in the hospital for a week and on October 9th, while the blonde was out, Menma came with kunai. Why no one was with him, and he ran away. The psycho raised the kunai and almost touching the Uzumaki's body with the gun. Shursui stopped him. Menma, are you completely crazy? He's your brother. You can't kill people just because they're better than you or first won the love of a girl you like, said Uchiha, not understanding why to do this with a relative. He took everything from me. Glory, the title of genius, and you with Sasuke, as well as the love of a mother. Namikaze shouted with a crazy smile, you have to earn the title of genius. You didn't have fame, I didn't take my mother's love, and Sasuke and Shisui chose me themselves. If you don't try to kill me and take revenge because of the stuff you invented, you will have everything, and if you do this shit, you won't get anything. You need to train and behave like a normal person, said Naruto, who woke up, who didn't care, and if you want to kill me so much, hit me in the heart, but if you leave Sasuke and Shisui alone and don't behave like a psycho, strike. Well, let's hit. Anbu said at the beginning, and then shouted. Menma slowly began to bring the kunai to his heart, but bringing it almost close, he said I won't kill you if you give me Shisui with Sasuke. Namikaze, shaking, said in a trembling and commanding tone in his voice, I can't give it to you. He didn't have time to finish as Manma hit the kunai near the heart. I cannot. Tsas.ke and sure. Sway after all, they are people and I and do not own, Naruto said, coughing up blood and barely speaking. Die. Menma shouted, taking out the kunai, and although he still struck, the girl stopped him again. Many will ask why Shisui did not save Naruto from the first blow. Uzumaki stopped her, hoping that Menma would come to her senses. The girl created a clone who held Menma. She herself pressed the button to call doctors and held the wound. Naruto, hold on, shouted the girl, crying, asking the blonde, Shisui-chan, don't be afraid, I'll survive. You forgot I'm a Jinchuriki, but I need to give me first aid, otherwise the fox won't be able to heal everything normally. The blonde man behind the mask said with a slight smile, Kurama, can't you heal right away without this stuff? The blonde man asked the fox, I can, but if you are treated a little, then I can heal you faster and even improve your body, said the fox lying in a clearing in the subconscious. It won't help, you need doctors, said the girl, applying first aid and treating honey jutsu. Shisui, how is Guy with the army? The blonde man asked, and that's who revived all these things. Kakashi taught his ducks the techniques of Suiton and came up with new techniques, and Guy trained his suits, and he also ran along with overalls and shouted about the power of youth. The girl answered, treating the guy as best she could and crying. Meanwhile, the clone took the god to the Hokage's house. Hokage-sama, I'm sorry, but this asshole attacked Naruto and hit him with a kunai near the heart, and the original is now helping your firstborn. Naruto thought that Menma, after his words, would change his mind about killing and from the obsession that he is God and everything belongs to him, and invented bullshit about the fact that Naruto took everything from Menma. Said the clone, throwing Namikaze Jr. on the floor. Menma, I don't care, I need to see my son urgently, and I'll deal with you later, Minato said, worried about her son and looking at her second child. Menma, with contempt. The Hokage disappeared in lightning. Kushina took a hand and ran to Naruto. The red-haired one created a clone that restrained Menma. The clone of Shisui disappeared. Meanwhile, doctors were saving the blonde man's life. Tsunade herself took up the case, but here she is in the village. Minato appeared near Shisui. How and where is Naruto? The worried Hokage asked. They are trying to save him now, said the girl, crying and worried about the guy. Kushina and Naruka asked the same thing as Hokage. Minato replied that Shisui told him. The next day, Tsunade and several other ninja medics came out of the ward. He will live, you can come and check on him tomorrow, Senju said, glad that her grandson was alive. Thanks mom, Minato said, hugging the woman and starting to cry with happiness. Meanwhile, Kushina's clone brought Menma to reason and he began to behave more or less normally. The Namikaze family celebrated the birthday of Menma and Naruka. Surprisingly, only Minato did not forget about Naruto's doctor. Minato, where are you going? Kushina asked, smiling at her son who had finally recovered. What kind of mother are you? You forgot about the birthday of your firstborn, said Hokage, looking with disappointment at his wife. I'm already used to the fact that we lived in 4 and celebrated a birthday only with Menmoi and Naruka. Kushina began to complain about such an oversight, but Minato had already disappeared in lightning. Meanwhile, thanks to Kurama, he recovered and sat on a waterfall on one of the polygons. Minato appeared in the store and started choosing a gift for Naruto. Hokage-sama, how can I help you? A girl of about 20 asked with a smile. I need a gift for my son, said the thoughtful blonde. For Menma, well, knowing him, he wants this swords or a scroll with light jutsu, said the girl showing the goods, also smiling. No, I need a gift for my firstborn. He serves in the ANBU and I do not know what he likes, said the sad Hokage, scratching his head. Naruto came into the store and went to the checkout. Yo father, can I have ink? The blonde man said indifferently, looking at the girl. Hi, son, the sad fourth also said. Wait, is this your son? The surprised girl asked. Namikaze nodded in response. As I understand it, you are buying a gift here. If you buy it for me, then immediately give it to Menma or Naruka. I don't celebrate a birthday with two bad and painful memories, said Anbu, putting money on the counter, taking ink, but Minato didn't have time to say as Naruto disappeared in a lightning the color of blood. Hokage bought a paralysis seal at the store and went to Naruto. When he came to his son, he saw him sitting on a waterfall and drawing seals on a piece of paper. Namikaze instantly found himself at Uzumaki and stamped the seal of paralysis. And now, son, you're going to tell me everything about yourself, said a serious fourth, sitting his paralyzed son on the ground. You know the name. I like to eat ramen. There is no dream. The goal is to be useful to the village. I think you will ask why I don't celebrate my birthday. And because I was beaten several times harder, I suffered and thought that my parents loved me. And if they were alive they didn't leave, and when I found out the truth I was morally broken, and my grandfathers and foxes helped me, said Anbu, breaking the seal of paralysis. I wouldn't have left you if it wasn't for the fear and the elders. I wouldn't have left you, said Minato, hugging his son, crying from the fact that he did not defend his son, but simply abandoned, and found out that he thought his parents loved and would not have abandoned, but in fact it turned out that his father abandoned and forgot, lying to his mother, who after telling the truth and all the time that she tried to give love to Jinchuriki, and after an established relationship, I forgot about my son's birthday. Naruto stood up and disappeared into the lightning, and Minato remained depressed. Uzumaki appeared at home and immediately sat down and began to think. Naruto's thoughts. So, what should I do now? My mother forgot about my birthday, my father began to repent. Well, that's good. Menma has become more or less normal. Naruko has not changed. And how have I changed? He became a little more sociable and began to help friends by sacrificing his health and strength. This is certainly not such a huge minus, but still, can he leave the ANBU, become a jounin, start a team and train them? Well, no, even if I become a jounin, I don't care about the team. I'm too young to babysit genins. I'll think about it tomorrow. And Naruto's thoughts. There was a knock on the door of the Uzumaki house. The blonde came up and looked through the peephole and saw Kakashi there. Hi Utakakage-sama, said Minato's son with smiling eyes and waving his hand. Oh, I brought you a gift here, said the copyist, holding out the box. Uzumaki opened the box and what he saw there amazed him. Is this the same scroll? The blonde man asked, startled. Yes, the Cyclops answered, watching the guy's reaction. This is a scroll with all the explanations and techniques of Fuinjutsu, shouted the guy, rejoicing. If anything, Ashino did not have time to teach Kushina's son all the techniques, and also did not show the forbidden one. The blonde thanked Hitaki and ran to the training ground. When he arrived, he began to read and try barriers with seals. Naruto, have you signed a draft contract? The fox asked, looking at the guy. No, I didn't sign it, said the blonde, standing in front of the fox. Well, then fold the seals. Boardog, bird, monkey, ram, bite your finger and hit the ground, the fox said, being interested in Uzumaki's appeal. After completing the actions and hitting the ground, a Shinigami in a red kimono appeared in front of the guy. Naruto. Awesome, how? The fox yelled in his subconscious. Uzumaki. Naruto, I'm Shinigami, you're lucky I'm your call, God said, looking into the guy's eyes. But how? The surprised guy asked. Your clan created the Shiki Fujin technique, while connecting me to this world with the help of Yuzugen technology. Apparently due to the fact that you are Uzumaki and possess Yuzugen, I became your usual call. But if you summon you, do you take the soul of the summoner? I'll explain right now. The Fuki Fujin technique calls me, yes, but I'll take the summoner's soul. And now I've become a regular summoner, so I won't take your soul, Naruto. When you are 12, you summon me and we will start training. Summon me at any time, but know that if you summon me for the second time, then I will be able to kill a maximum of 7 people no higher than Chunin, and when there are 10 to 30 times, then somewhere 15 hunins, said the god of death disappearing. Got it, said the blonde, pondering the words of the call. Naruto looked at the place where Shinigami was and saw a scroll. A note and Tonto. A note. Naruto, write your first name with your last name and leave an imprint in blood. After signing, the scroll will disappear, and Tonto is my weapon and you can use it. When killing with this weapon, the enemy's soul gets to me and it will still be useful in training with me. Shinigami and note. Naruto signed the contract and the scroll instantly disappeared. The guy took the Tonto and sealed it. When he got home, he started cooking dinner. There was a knock on the door. The blonde man came over and opened it. Miyuki, Shursui, and Jiraiya were standing there. Hi Miyuki. Hello Jiraiya-sama. Minato's son said, looking at the newcomers. Hello Naruto-kun, said the girl with a smile holding the gift. Well, hello godson, said Sannin, and smiling. Well, okay, what do you need? Uzumaki asked, looking at Uchiha and Sensei Minato. To wish you a happy birthday, the pervert replied. I don't celebrate my birthday, and I try to avoid gifts as much as possible, etc. Why? Have you lived with Minato and Kushina all your life? The surprised disciple of the third asked. No godparents, I lived in a dorm in the ass of the village until I was 6 years old and ate cheap ramen, until I became Anbu. Hokage didn't even come up to me and talk to me, and in general, he left me for fear that the fox would break out and kill Menma with a guarantee, and handed me over to the shelter. All my childhood I was insulted, beaten, bullied. And on my birthday everyone celebrated the victory over Kyuubi and other Hokage children, when I was lying beaten and dead in the alley in the garbage, and when I came home I brewed ramen and congratulated myself. But one day I found a friend, grandfather's, and started training, said Naruto, who started to cry. I'm sorry, I didn't know, Sannin replied, looking at his godson and trying to put his hand on his shoulder. Let's move away from this topic. Come in, said the blonde, calming down and inviting guests into the house. Naruto, what is your call? The white-haired Sannin asked, trying to cram the call of toads into him. I have the strongest call, the guy answered, putting food on plates. Which one? Jiraiya asked, intending to find out which call is better than toads. Now we'll eat and I'll show you, Uzumaki replied, sitting down at the table. Itadakama said. The three starting to eat. After dinner, they went to the training ground. Naruto began to fold the seals of the draft. After hitting the ground, summoning symbols appeared and Shinigami appeared. It's Shinigami. The student of the third yelled, grabbing the blonde and the girl and running away from the call. Jiraiya, this is my call, Shinigami said. Is this your call? The pervert and Uchiha said in surprise. Yes, this is my personal call and it does not take my soul, because this is not Shiki Fujin, but an ordinary one, the blonde man said, breaking out of Sannin's grip. After telling and explaining everything, Jiraiya gave the blonde 50 kilograms weights on his arms and legs, and then went home to the Hokage. Miyuki stayed with Naruto. When she came home, Uchiha chose Uzumaki's bedroom, and the owner of the house was sleeping on the sofa in the living room. Hokage house. The Hokage and Jiraiya family were sitting in the living room. What did you give Naruto? Sannin asked with a smile. Nothing, answered sad Hokage, Kushina and Naruto. What are you, Jiraiya-sensei? Minato asked, looking at the teacher. I gave the weights, he gladly accepted them, and about the fact that you are your own parents did not give anything, even you Naruto, said the disappointed hermit. I gave him a gift, but I do not know where he lives, the girl answered, realizing that she could not even ask where her brother lives. Let's move away from this. I recognized Naruto's call and I'm surprised. Snakes, really? Hokage asked, looking at the third student. No, he has a special call, and this is Shinigami, Jiraiya said, waiting for a reaction. What? Shinigami? Yelled the surprised parents. Yes, as I understand it, this is only his call. If he wants, he will give a scroll to sign a contract with God, said the pervert, thinking about something. I'll order him to give me the death god summoning scroll. Menma shouted in a haughtily commanding tone, Menma, he is your brother, and I think the god of death will not want you to call him, and even if he allows it, you will quickly piss him off and he will take your soul, said the writer presenting this picture. I don't care, he's a weakling, a loser, and I'm the son of a Hokage, not a scum and have the respect of the village, Namikaze said arrogantly. Menma, you have respect only because you are my son and that's it, you didn't do anything for the sake of the village, but I'm not talking about the force in general. Naruto saved the village, saved us from the traitor and because of this has respect. He is one of the strongest ANBU of the village and in 2 years will become the captain of the ANBU, Minato said. Folding his hands into a lock and looking at his second child, Uncle Jiraiya, you can take me to Nii-san, I want to give him a gift. And spend the night with him, otherwise I don't want to live with an arrogant idiot and besides, once he tried to kill Nii-san, and after that I can't trust him with my back, said the girl coming up to the man. Of course, I'll probably spend the night with him too, said Sannin going to the exit. But why are you going to him? I'm not worse, I'm even better than him. An angry Menma shouted, no, you're worse than him. I understand Minato and Kushina, they don't want to repeat the mistake with Naruto, so they don't throw you and probably love but about gifts for Naruto and did not understand why they were not given, said Sannin. He said he didn't want to celebrate, Kushina said with sadness in her voice. Yes, he said that, but that does not mean that he does not want to receive a gift. Even any trinket will please him, said the hermit looking at the disciple and his wife. I'm ready, said the girl with a smile. The man and the girl left the house and went to Uzumaki's house, knocking on the door. Naruto opened it for them. Brother, happy birthday, said the girl smiling and holding out a gift. Thanks, but here's yours. Anbu said, accepting the gift and giving her another box with smiling eyes. The girl opened the box and found their scrolls for chakra control and light techniques. Thanks Tionesin, shouted the girl hugging the guy with a smile. You're welcome, said the guy looking at the box with kunai and shuriken given by his sister. Come into the house, Naruto, choose where you want to sleep. Jiraiya can sleep in the room to the left of the stairs on the second floor, said the guy letting them into the house. Naruto chose a room to the right of the stairs on the second floor. After eating, everyone went to their rooms, and Naruto lay down on the sofa in the living room and fell asleep pretty quickly. Uzumaki woke up in some room. Getting up from the bed, he saw the head of the Hyuga clan. What am I doing here? The blonde man asked with fury in his voice. Until you marry my daughter, you will not get out of here, Hayashi said with a grin. Naruto created a Rasengan and ran at Hugo, but he was stopped by the chakra-suppressing chains. You won't escape. Hinata's father said. Meanwhile, Uzumaki borrowed a chakra from Kurama, and was able to get out by entering the fox avatar. An orange fox appeared in the Hyuga quarter, which smashed several houses into splinters. Shinobi and the villagers realized that Hyugi wanted to take the fox from the hero of the village, and did not pay much attention to it. When Naruto dispelled the nine-tailed chakra mode, he ran away to his house. After running in, he put up a little more than 200 barriers. When he went up to the bedroom, he saw Miyuki, who was peacefully snoring. The blonde lay down next to her and looked at her cute face until she woke up and began rubbing her eyes with her fist. Hi, how did you sleep? Uzumaki asked, hugging the girl. Hi, well, what about you? The girl asked, looking into the guy's eyes. Well, somehow I woke up at Hugo's, ran away, broke several houses and returned home, said the guy. The girl snuggled up to. Oh, I forgot about the gift, said Uchiha, getting out of bed and starting to look for the hidden box. Miyuki, can you get dressed? The blonde, red as a cancer, asked, looking at the girl. And what? Said the eldest daughter of the head of the Uchiha clan, and after a second remembered that she was in shorts and a t-shirt and instantly blushed. Hold it, said the girl, red as a tomato, holding out the box. Thank you, said the guy, taking off his mask and kissing his partner. The same blushed and wrapped herself in a blanket. In the box was a necklace with the coat of arms of the Uzumaki clan, the color of blood. On the back was written, for the only and beloved Naruto. With love, Miyuki. Miyuki, this is the best gift, thank you, "Honey," Uzumaki said with love in his voice, and at the same time hugging the girl in the blanket, red as a cancer. Then he put a necklace around his neck and they went downstairs. They saw Jiraiya sitting and drinking tea. "Where's Naruto?" Anbu asked, pouring coffee for himself and the girl who was wearing the blonde shorts. "At the academy," the writer answered briefly, finishing his tea. "Got it, Miyuki, let's go on a mission," the blonde asked, handing the drink to his girlfriend. "Well, Naru, lean. Come on later," the girl whined, occasionally sipping coffee. "Okay, so I have 2 days of rest left, I'll probably spend them with you," the guy said, hugging the beauty of the Uchiha clan to himself. The lovers spent the weekend together. They were not distracted by the demands of Menma. Naruto woke up. After completing the morning procedures, he went down to the first floor. Having had a hearty breakfast, I entered the armory, putting on Anbu armor and taking kunai, shurikens with swords of swordsmen. He went to the Hokage. "Hokage-sama, I'm listening," Jinchuriki said with coldness in his voice. "So, the mission of the S rank, the protection of the daimyo's children. Now his family lives near my house," Namikaze said, yawning. "Hi," Uzumaki said. Disappearing into Uzushio's Shunshin. Anbu appeared at the Hokage's house. Climbing a tree, he found the daimyo's family and saw that they were now playing with Menma and Naruka. Jinchuriki lay down on a tree branch and watched them. Kushina approached the children and offered lemonade. The children happily grabbed glasses with a drink, but suddenly Naruto got dizzy and he fell from a tree, spitting out a huge lump of blood. "What's wrong with me?" the blonde man said aloud. "Kurama is out of print, Naruto. Naruto, your mother. Do you hear me?" the fox asked, worried about his friend. "Yes," Uzumaki answered briefly. "Phew, you got sick because your Yuzugen is evolving, and you have to be patient." "I see, I can handle it," the blonde man said, spitting out another blood clot. Kushina and Naruko ran up to him. "Ni-san, please don't leave us." The younger Namikaze begged, crying. "Naruko, sister, don't be afraid, I will survive," said Jinchuriki, hugging his sister. "Naruto," she said, amazed that her son might be dying and she could not help him. "Mom, why should Aunt Kushina and my future wife worry about this garbage?" "Son, do you know the bloody fox?" the woman asked her son. "Yes, he protected us," the boy answered. "You just called him trash," said the woman. "He? I do not believe," said the schoolboy, coming up to Anbu. The daimyo's son removed the fox mask and saw the one who protected him, and in his eyes shone a dojutsu in which Tomo appeared. Uzumaki yelled, clutching at his eyes. Everyone saw that his hair began to turn red like a pure-blood Uzumaki. After 10 minutes of screams of complete pain, the former blonde removed his hands from his eyes and Yuzugen appeared in front of everyone with 3 volumes in each eye. Naruto, you will have to leave the village at the age of 14. After all, training with Rinnegan's abilities is no joke. For example, Chibaku Tensei stupidly sucks in the floor of Konoha, the fox said, sitting down next to his friend. "I see, I went back to guard you," Anbu said, putting on his mask and sitting down on another tree. The former blonde guarded the daimyo family until the moment when they left, accompanied by Kakashi to the capital of the Land of Fire. It's been 5 years. During this time, Naruto experienced another evolution of the eyes. Kushina was able to somehow communicate normally with the red-haired one and no longer forgot to give birthday gifts. The former blonde and Miyuki began to live together, and Menma and Naruka became genins. Miyuki's sister also went to her grandparents with Itachi for training. Naruto was at the training ground and tried to normally add the element of wind to the Rasengan, but suddenly Shinigami appeared in front of him. "Naruto, it's time," God said, looking at the guy. "Okay, now I'll just take my things and say goodbye to everyone," said the red-haired one standing in front of the Shinigami. Naruto ran home and packed a bag with things. Before he left a note for his girlfriend. Running to his mother's house and saying goodbye to her, he ran away to the leader of the village. "Hokage-sama, I'm going to train with the draft." "Don't care," Anbu said. "Okay, but be careful, son," the blonde whispered the last word. Naruto disappeared in lightning and appeared at the training ground. Calling Shinigami, he said he was ready, and the god of death called the guy into his world. Once in the world of summoning, Uzumaki saw only white space and the god of death before his eyes. Naruto, this is my world. You can create anything here, said the god, showing the example of weapons. I see, what about training? Asked the former blonde. We'll start tomorrow, but in the meantime I'll tell you about the hermit mode or the god of death mode. This mode has 4 stages. First, you get a white kimono on your body and a tanto in your teeth. In this mode you can take 1 soul. Second, also kimono and tanto, only beads, horns are added and you can absorb 3 souls. Strength increases by 5 times as well as the power of techniques, speed by 10 times and impalpability. Third, you become an exact copy of me. The strength increases 50 times as well as the power of techniques, the speed is 70, the intangible. You can also be summoned in this mode with the help of Shiki Fujin and you will take the soul of the enemy, but you will not be able to take the summoner. Fourth, this form gives a unique, individual look with abilities and weapons. I see, but can you create a house for me? Anbu asked, trying to create a weapon. Here, I'll wake you up tomorrow, the god of death said before disappearing. A second later, Uzumaki was standing on the plot of his new house. Entering the building, he looked around. The house had 1 room, a toilet with a bathtub, a kitchen, a living room, a forge on the street. Uzumaki woke up in the bedroom. After brushing his teeth, he went to the kitchen where the god of death was sitting. I was about to go wake you up, said Shinigami, sipping tea with lemon. Yeah, can you create food for me? Sure. Here you go, God said, and a plate of porridge appeared on the table. Naruto ate breakfast quickly. Going outside, the god of death said, now we will start training the Sannin regime. After each training session, I will teach the skill of creating weapons. After mastering the regime, I will teach the taijutsu of death, said Shinigami, simultaneously creating a waterfall with oil like toads, only not brown, but white. This waterfall consists of the oil of the god of death, the white-haired man said, looking at the red-haired one. It sounds like you're like a butter manufacturer and you're showing me that I'm in your factory, Uzumaki said, introducing the package, where Shinigami shows a like and it says, soul oil, only from the souls of good people. Ha ha ha, funny. And now, kid, sit in the lotus position near the waterfall. I will water you. When you start to become a stone statue, then I will beat you with the handle of the tanto, which removes the senjutsu chakra from your body, God said with a sadistic smile. Okay, Jinchuriki answered briefly. Uzumaki's summons began to pour oil on him from the waterfall. Naruto sat all day and tried to start collecting the natural chakra normally. At the end of the day, it could be called one big bruise. So Uzumaki trained for 2 weeks and was finally able to collect it. And how is the time going here? Naruto asked while eating ramen. A month here, a week there, the god of death replied, your progress has increased. At this rate, you learn the full hermit mode in 1 year without using clones, God said, finishing his tea. I see, but how to enter the 2nd, 3rd and 4th stages of the regime? Uzumaki asked. The more senjutsu chakras you collect, the higher the stages. Also, you can put a special seal on yourself, which will collect the natural chakra many times faster. Good idea. We'll have to look in the scrolls. And now, kid, come on, you're going to learn to meditate. He going out into the courtyard. The Almighty created a location with stakes. Hold this stove. When I lift you up there, place it there and sit on it. If you start falling, I'll catch you. The Guardian of Souls spoke. I see, said Uzumaki, putting the stove. Sitting down, Uzumaki began to try not to twitch. After several unsuccessful attempts, he began to get used to it. After 2 weeks of falls, he was able to sit still. Naruto, today we will begin to study the taijutsu of death. At the beginning of the theory. First, your punches should be fast, strong and inconspicuous. Second, you have to hit the deadly points of the enemy's body, for the fastest possible kill. Third, from the 2nd to the 3rd mode, your hands become like blades. They do not take the form of weapons, but they can cut. To pierce the enemy, like a knife through butter. Fourth, it depends on the final regime of the sage. A year has passed. Naruto learned the taijutsu of death in 6 months, the other half he trained with Shinigami in joint techniques. At the end of the training, the god of death presented the red-haired man with a white cloak with black fire and a kanji, Sannin of death. This cloak allows you to use Amaterasu, or rather, instead of the usual fire, black, I see. But now I have 3 raincoats. Make things out of a cloak with the chakra of brothers and sisters. Naruto did so. Shikaku's chakra went to the sealing scroll, Matatabi's chakra to black fingerless gloves, Isabu's chakra to a vest like Hunin's white with the sign of the Uzumaki clan, Sona's chakra to white bracers, Kokuo's chakra to a second handcuff of the same color as the first, Saiken to a black bandage, Chomei's chakras to the plate itself with the sign of Konoha. Gyuki's chakra on the blade is the color of blood, and Kurama's chakra was spent on a black mask. Poof. Uzumaki appeared near Kakashi. Which one? Just to tell the red-haired one how he got hit in the face with his foot. Jinchuriki crashed into a tree. Kakashi, what the fi? I didn't have time to finish as he was hit in the face, torso, and most importantly, on his dignity. Uzumaki growled at you, holding on to the holy place. Oh, la, Naruto, is that you? Hatake asked, looking at his friend. Naruto stood and watched what she had done to her brother. Mayumi, Sasuke, was fucked up by the fact that this was the one to whom she confessed a few years ago, and Sakura did not understand anything. Kakashi-sensei, who is this? Haruno asked. Konoha's bloody fox, and we just beat him up. So, duck, shut up, otherwise I'll find ducks and set them on you. Duckage? An army of ducks, the living board asked in surprise. It doesn't matter, said the copyist, realizing that he could be discovered. How is Miyuki doing? Uzumaki asked, getting up and letting himself be examined. Bad news, after you left, Miyuki was married to Menma. She resisted, ran away, hid in the world of conscription. Kushina tried to dissuade Minato, Mikoto also tried with Fugaku, but they didn't care. Imhana, I promised that I would impale Menma. Kakashi, want to catch a flashback, for example? Yes, now I'll call the fox, and minus Konoha, then no. What's wrong with you? The last time you were serious, cold-blooded, and now you're a funny guy and not the same Naruto at all, Kakashi asked, preparing for the fight. And you try to live with the god of death for a year? Uzumaki replied calmly. I see. After that, Naruto left the training ground. The team noticed that the raincoat says, Sannin of death. Arriving at his parents' house, he knocked. Kushina opened the door for him. Where is he? Asked with anger in his eyes. Hi, son, I don't understand my husband's act, but it's terrible. Minato is at Menma's with Miyuki. Your father totally freaked out and gave your house to Menma. Figs to him, not my property. After the conversation, he went to his former home. Along the way the residents looked at him with regret and with the hope that he would put everyone in his place. When he arrived, he saw another marriage ceremony with Hinata. Naruto appeared right next to Menma. Well, scum, so when I left, I took everything for myself. And you, Minato, are a beast. I will not take revenge, but I will come back and take the most important thing for you all. Miyuki, you could have left the village, but you didn't. You had the desire to live with that bastard. The girl was crying. They replaced Naruto's note and told her that he was dead. Naruto entered the Biju mode. He left the village at maximum speed. Miyuki cried. No, cried for 2 days. Hinata was happy. Kushina moved out from Minato and stopped communicating and seeing him at all. After 30 minutes of running, Naruto ran to a small village, where he stopped. Along the way, residents looked at Uzumaki with surprise. When he reached the hotel, he was met by a woman. The bloody fox? The woman exclaimed, looking at the guy. Naruto remained silent and calmly entered the building. She trailed after him. How dare you? I was trudging from Kyumo to Konoha to interview you. Can I get a room for a month? Uzumaki stated calmly, looking at the receptionist. Of course. Elite or ordinary? She smiled. The usual one. Okay, that's 10,000 ri. Having paid, the boy began to wait. here, you have the second floor, number 149. Holding out the keys, the girl announced, "Thanks." The red-haired man went up to the second floor. The reporter took the number 150 and followed the former ANBU. In Konoha, Kakashi noticed his friend running away from the village. It was expected for him, because he would have done it himself. Having decided something, the copyist went to collect things and ducks. Residents saw how the strongest ANBU left the village, and now another one. "Kakashi, where are you going?" Konoha's beast asked, appearing in front of his opponent. "I'm leaving the village. It's rotten and I'm not going to live here. Even if all my friends want to live in this ass, then I will leave and will not tolerate it. I'm going to, Minato-sensei, to the edge of Ohu.L, gave the house to Naruto-kun, took and deceived the girl of his firstborn and also persuaded her to fall in love with Menma, but it is impossible to force a person to fall in love. Perhaps Kakashi, bookmarks plus Uzumaki seals and lies are ready, I see. By the way, Guy, I'll ask you to gather the residents and shinobi who are ready to leave the village. Meet me at the Konoha gate at 23:35, OK. 23:35. There were 9 people standing at the gates of Konoha. They were, Itachi Uchiha, Asuma Sarutobi, Yuhi Kurenai, Ebisu, Irika Yumano, Hiruzen Sarutobi and Naruko Namikaze, Kakashi Hatake and Mato Guy. Naruko, are you sure you want to leave? Yes, I'm not going to live in this village, but Mom. She doesn't know anything, of course. The army of ducks and overalls is with us. Since Itachi has a Sharingan, he was able to track down traces of Naruto's chakra. In that village. Uzumaki sat and thought about what to do. Naruto's thoughts. And what should I do? Can travel the world? No, Ashino's grandfather was talking about Uzushio. Can restore the village? Yes, I will. But in the beginning I need to attack other villages in the form of Konoha shinobi, where I will steal Uzumaki scrolls. You can even copy the shinobi data. Then the villages will consider them traitors, and I will be in the black. And Naruto's thoughts. There was a knock on the door of the room. Naruto opened it and there he saw that girl. What do you need? Give an interview. Ah, okay, go sit on the chair, and I'll bring tea in the meantime. Entering the room, she took off her shoes and went into the living room, where she saw an armchair. Uzumaki poured tea and brought it. After serving the drink, he sat down opposite the journalist. Let's start. So, Naruto, how did you become ANBU, defeated the strongest? Okay. Who did you kill first? Swordsman of the Mist, or rather Mangetsu Hozuki. Favorite food? Ramen with pork. Why aren't you wearing a tread? I threw it away. Have you become a nuke nin? If so, why? I don't want to live in this rotten village. Hokage married my girlfriend to my brother, and she didn't mind. Of course, my friends and my mother and sister live there, but I'm sure that half of the friends have friendship for the sake of popularity, money, free help from a strong shinobi, but there are also real ones. Of course, you can talk a little about the force and about yourself. Yes, I own Geki Genkai, 5 elements, summoning. In battle, I am calm, reasonable, cold-blooded. In his spare time, the complete opposite of himself in battle. I see, thank you, goodbye, said the girl putting the mug on the table and walking to the exit. You're welcome, for now, said the guy opening the door and closing it after the reporter left. Uzumaki put away the mugs and sat down to read a book. I didn't even have time to open the first page when they knocked again. Kushina-san opened the door and he saw Naruka, Kakashi, Hiruzen, Guy, Itachi, Kurenai, Asuma, Ebisa and Irika. We're with you, Kakashi said. I see, then let's get started. I will send everyone to the villages and you will arrange chaos there, in the form of Konoha shinobi, and then they will break the peace contract with Konoha. It's only in our favor. We will get Uzumaki scrolls and information about shinobi. After that, he told in detail about the plan and everyone agreed. Naruko stayed in the room with a Naruto clone. We went to Kumo, Kakashi and Irika. To Sunu, Hiruzen with Ebisu. In Kiri, Asuma and Naruto. Kyumo, Kakashi and Iruka reached the village in 4 days. Iruka ran around the village, putting and masking the seals of the explosion. Kakashi stole scrolls with Fuin and copied information about shinobi. They were allowed into the village, because the guards knew about peace with Konoha. Kakashi and Iruka were standing near the exit, and Whai was standing next to them. Hatake blew up the explosion tags. Then Raikage realized that Leaf had betrayed them and started attacking them. Iruka, using the teleportation scroll that Uzumaki gave them, appeared with his partner in the room, Suna. In Suna, the old Hokage was welcomed, everyone worshipped him, while Ebisu placed the seals of the explosion. Hiruzen created clones that distracted the people and the guards. He himself found about 200 Uzumaki scrolls and all the information about Uzumaki in the song. Hiruzen came out of the vault, and there was a Kazekage standing there. The old man did not lose his head and ran to the exit with Ebisu, and when they stopped and blew up the seals, Kazekage realized that Konoha had betrayed them. Kiri, Naruto ran and put explosive tags. Asuma also stole 300 Uzumaki scrolls from the repository, as well as all the information about shinobi. When they ran away, Mizukage fired at them, and instead explosions were heard all over the village. Mei decided to break the peace with Konoha. Everyone returned to the hotel with the help of the scrolls. There Naruto sealed them in a seal on his hand. Ducks and jumpsuits in print on the left hand. It's time to go to Uzushio. Grandfather Ashino left me a map to the village. Brother, will you teach me Fuina and awaken the Uzumaki genes in me? Naruka asked, looking at the guy. Yes. Uzumaki Sr. answered briefly. While they were walking, on the way to Uzushio, Naruto thought. Povnrutoso, why did I have grandfather has Hiram, Ashura and Ashino in my subconscious? So, wait, Hashirama and Ashura said I'm the strongest reincarnation, and about Ashino? Probably a hint that I should be the head of the clan and all the other stuff. Answer for those who asked. The group reached the ruins in 5 days. Arriving, they saw the ruins, but when they approached the gate, the barrier did not let them in. Naruto bit his finger and activated Yuzugen. Standing in front of the barrier, he touched his finger to it and it opened the passage. When they entered the village, they saw not ruins, but a whole and unharmed village. What the fuck? Everyone asked, dumbfounded. Ashino appeared and started talking. My name is Ashino Uzumaki. I am the last Uzukage. The village has been restored thanks to the barrier that saved most of the scrolls. To find out the new head of the clan, he must show his Yuzugen and put his finger on the panel near the Bridge of Destiny, which is located in the middle of the village. If it turns red, then you are not worthy. If a golden pattern with a spiral appears, it means that this person is the new head of the clan and Kage Uzushio. By the way, I'm a hologram, so I won't answer any questions. Goodbye, send it. The group went to the center of the village and reached it in 30 minutes. Naruko was the first to put her finger, but the panel lit up red. Then, Naruto came up and put his hand. The panel lit up with gold and a blood-colored spiral appeared with Tomo, which spun and a pattern appeared. Suddenly Uzumaki fell and grabbed his eyes and started screaming in pain. After about 10 minutes, he got up and opened his eyes. Everyone saw there a pattern like Kakashi's Sharingan. I'm ready to become the second Uzushikage. Tomorrow we go in search of Uzumaki and look for them until my 16th birthday. After the inauguration will take place and statues of the Kage of this village will be created from whirlpools near these gates. On my 15th birthday, I will start studying Rinnegan's abilities. Grandfather Hiruzen, teach Naruka. The rest will take Uzushio's uniform and armbands. Come on, I'll take you. After confessing to Kage, I found out about everything in the village. Everyone followed Naruto. When everyone changed their clothes, they looked like this: a white Hunin uniform, a red vest with the sign of the Uzumaki clan, a white bandage was a protector, the sign of the Uzumaki clan was carved on the plate itself. I will study the information about shinobi and possible Uzumaki, so get ready for the trip. after tomorrow I will start building the academy program and so on. Naruto and other Hunins occupied houses near the residence, because they are two-storied, water supply, electricity, etc. are made there with the help of seals. Naruto also occupied the largest and most beautiful house, which was made in the traditional Japanese style. The next day, Naruto woke up. He got up and brushed his teeth. When he came to the kitchen, he looked into the refrigerator and not seeing the food, he realized that he had to buy in another village. Then Uzumaki decided to find other red-haired people faster and come to the land of iron faster. There he is going to announce that Uzushio is back in the ranks and then they will be marked as a full-fledged great village. Naruto, in Biju mode, ran to a village nearby and bought food for everyone there. Running back, he brought information about Uzumaki with products to everyone. The Hunins and the future Kage gathered in search of Uzumaki, and when everyone was ready, they ran in different directions. A month has passed. Naruto and his friends returned to Uzushio. Each had about 100 to 300, 100 Uzumaki. Among the recruits were old men who cried with happiness, women and men who rejoiced that the village had been restored and it was possible to live here. The children were just running, playing, and some were exploring the village. Among the new members of the clan were purebloods, as well as half-breeds. Most people were shinobi, old people were before, most of them were at the level of the average jounin, but there were also chunins with genins, the council of the Hunins of Uzushio. Naruto. The topic of coming to the land of iron and declaring there that we are back in the ranks is being raised. Kakashi, I am thinking of making myself known, then we will be put on the map and declared a great village. Besides, Uzumaki will find out about Uzushio and will come here. Iran agrees with Kakashi-san. Mina, I think we need to accumulate military power and then declare ourselves. Chiriku, I stand in solidarity with Kakashi. Hiruzen, I think before declaring myself, we need to put more protective barriers on the village and then act according to Kakashi's plan. Asuma, I agree with my father. Kurinai agrees with Sarutobi Sr. Naruto, then we act according to the plan of old man Hiruzen, but before that I will study the abilities of Uzugen, or rather the ways of Rinnegan. Kakashi, Naruto, who are you taking, Mayumi or Miyuki? Naruto doesn't care, Mayumi will be passed off as someone else. Miyuki is under bookmarks and is unlikely to leave with me, but on the other hand, I need to continue the family, later, it's too early for me to think about it. Hiruzen, Naruto, you're going to the eye strength training tomorrow, and we're going to train shinobi. Being in his thoughts, our hero decided to start training earlier than planned. Kurama turned to his Jinchuriki. Hey, kid, Rinnegan's techniques can crush a village in a second. Once my father created a special training ground for himself. He is all stuffed with barriers that any Yuzukage could not dream of. I think it will be perfect for your training. The fox sent the coordinates of the place to Uzumaki's head. He went there for 10 days, Kurama. I even trudged there in Biju mode for 10 whole days without rest. Don't whine, the fox grinned. Looking ahead, he saw a white house and a landfill near it. So how do we get there? Pointed his finger at the building. Before his death, Rikudo left us, the tailed ones, the key to the barrier. Entering the building, he explored the structure. It was possible to live in it. The landfill was huge, about half of Konoha. 2 years have passed. Naruto learned all the ways of Rinnegan and mastered them perfectly. During this time, he grew long red hair with a hairstyle like Madara's. His bangs cover his face. He decided that this would help hide the identity of the new Kage. He also completely lost his feelings and emotions in the battle. I also stopped feeling pain. He wore gold-colored armor. It is similar to the equipment of the first Hokage. The red crest of his clan was visible on his back. Under the armor, he was wearing a Hunin Uzushio suit. Naruto returned to the whirlpool. No one recognized his Kage, but when he said it was him, everyone was happy and started asking the guy about everything. The red-haired man answered with a smile under the mask. The inauguration was held the next day. All shinobi and kunoichi were drinking and celebrating. Naruto also found out about the Council of Six Kage, where Mifune decided to make a surprise for the other 5 rulers. The red-haired Jinchuriki took over the protection of Kakashi and Naruto, who by the way became a Chunin. They were attacked along the way, but Naruto killed them quickly. That's the pace they reached the Kage Council before Naruto came. There were 4 Kages sitting in the hall. They were, Hey, Mei, Kuratsuchi and Gaara. Where is Minato? Reikage shouted, breaking the table. I'm here. The blonde man answered, entering the hall with the guards who were Menma and Miyuki. We can start, Mei said, and oh, another one should come. And who is this weakling? Hey started yelling. Who did you call a weakling? A pumped-up blockhead, said Naruto coming into the hall. Greetings, Yuzukage-sama. Likewise, the Council of Six Kage begins. What? It's Kakashi and Naruto. What? Uzushio. There was confusion in the Hokage's head. I have gathered a council of 5. 6 Kage to report the plunder and resurrection of the dead. Recently, my shinobi met my dead father, so we need to unite and destroy the robber. I agree. If Yagura is resurrected, then my village will be destroyed to hell. I agree with you too. If you resurrect the first and second with the third, then Konoha will be destroyed in about 30 minutes. Agree, said Gaara and Kuratsuchi. No, why, Yuzukage? Hei shouted as he entered the lightning shroud. My village is under a powerful barrier. Only Uzumaki and their guests will go there. If they do it voluntarily, and not in genjutsu or persuasion, then they will not turn into dust. Yuzukage-sama, it's time for us to go. Yes, I'm sorry, dear Kage, but I have things to do. Stop, show your face, Minato demanded. I don't have to show you anything. Hokage, Menma, Miyuki, grab Yuzukage. The guy and the girl ran to Naruto, and he said, Shinra Tenseikage's defenders flew into the wall. How dare you throw me? I am the son of Hokage. Menma shouted, running up and adding the element of wind to the katana. He pierced her Uzumaki heart and... I don't feel pain, and in general I can't die from the destruction of organs or bones. Manjikyu Yuzugan gives me immortality, so to speak, brother. Shouted Naruto, heading at high speed towards the guy's sister. Menma shouted, running up to Naruto. The same one inserted a kunai into his stomach, and she ran up to Naruto and began to take off her armor. Moron, I told you that you can die from loss and blood poisoning. Yes, yes, yes. Get that fucking bangs off. Okay, sister, the guy said. I'm removing my bangs. Minato realized that Yuzukage was his son. Menma was bleeding. Miyuki ran up to Namikaze and began to heal. Fuin, removing bookmarks. Fuin, removal of the seals of subordination. Uzumaki said, touching Uchiha with both hands. The beloved realized that all her feelings for Menma were false. She was inspired that he was a super strong and kind person, the strongest ANBU and generally the pacifier of the brother of a psycho, KKAK? The sex of my life is a lie, love for Menma, his idealization and understatement of Naruto in my eyes. Naruto, I'm sorry, the girl said, looking at the guy with tear-stained eyes. Naruto, Kakashi, let's go. And you, Miyuki, think about who you love and who you want to live your life with, said Naruto in armor coming out of the hall. After leaving the hall, Uzumaki and his guards went to Uzushio. Naruto, did you think that he had already fucked her? The masked pervert asked. Yes, but I didn't feel the Menma chakra in her. I can say that he did not entertain his friend at all. I know you're thinking if he still fucked her and the chakra disappeared from her body. And I will tell you that my flea-bitten friend carefully scanned her and revealed that they are still virgins. I think that 3 shinobi taboos were hammered into his head, and he will not see sex until his 20th birthday. That's right, Mom usually did it. It was she who hammered it into his head. Menma came up to Miyuki and was about to kiss her when she slapped him. Don't touch me, creature. If you really loved me, you wouldn't allow bookmarks and seals to be applied on me. Hokage, I'm leaving the village. You won't dare. Namikaze shouted. Yes, I dare, she said before running off after Naruto. Naruto and his guards left the building and went to Uzushio. Wait, Miyuki? You're going to follow us, Naruto? I'm sorry, if it wasn't for my weakness, I would be with you right now. I forgive you. Thanks to this case, I experienced pain so strong that I eventually fainted. Stop, son of Hokage, I order you to give me Miyuki and the position of Uzukage. Fuck you. Well then, I declare war on you, fool. There's a war in a month, the red-haired man said, teleporting everyone to the village. Menma, what happened? I declared war on them. It will start in a month. Are you a moron? Damn, it's war again. Then you will become a Hokage and you will solve everything yourself. I'm ready to become the 5th Hokage. Minato put his hand on his son's shoulder and teleported himself and him to Konoha. Arriving in the village, Naruto told about the war and that none of them would die, except for the Konokovites. Dear shinobi in residence, I will fight for you and for the memory of our ancestors. Shinobi, start intensive training. Fuin masters, put a lot of powerful barriers on the village. You will participate in the war, but you will attack while in the barrier. If your strength is exhausted, then use teleportation scrolls and you will appear in Uzushio. The squad leader will leave a kunai with the mark of the Thunder God on the battlefield and I will teleport to it and destroy the squads. Understood, Uzukage-sama, Konoha. I, Minato Namikaze, resign from the post of Hokage and transfer the rights of government to my son, Menma. Ugh, get these scum out. Hooray, Hokage-sama. Shouted the people. There's a war in a month, and my first instruction is, now there will be a pleasure district in Konoha. Tired shinobi from the age of 13 can go to this area, where prostitutes will live and there will be no more kunoichi in our village. They will learn from professional whores methods of seduction and more. All kunoichi will become whores after the war, except my wife. In a month, in the clearing stood a red-haired man and a crowd of hunins with genins. How do you want to die, fast or slow? We don't want to, we were forced to come here. We would have left the village, but then we would have been killed, they said in unison. You're telling the truth. Thank you, Ku. Then how many shinobi for Menma? Everyone except us, and it's true. Thank you, Kurama. After the war I will give 200 kilograms of meat. I can't wait. Then go to Uzushio and say that you are from me and show this seal. They'll let you in, but they'll put a surveillance stamp on everyone. Thank you, Uzukage-sama. A year has passed. Naruto was destroying Konoha's shinobi. At the same time, he started dating Miyuki again and she even managed to get pregnant by Naruto. She is now 8 months pregnant. Kushina escaped from Konoha. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. My shinobi are dying like flies. In a month I'll call him to the decisive battle and take my dad with me. Naruto was arguing with Miyuki about the baby's name. His name will be Boruto-Miyuki. That's a terrible name. Better than Ashura. He is my ancestor and quite a strong and kind shinobi. Okay, I agree. It would be like that right away. Ashura, shouted Uzumaki. For this, he received a kick in the face from his son in the stomach. Just like you. A month later, there was one Kage and one Neto Hokage standing in the clearing. With Naruto were Kakashi and Guy. Ducks and jumpsuits have created their own village and country, Udoka Miniger and the country of rubber. Now there are about 1,000 ducks and 900 jumpsuits living there. Today you will die. Fuck you, brother, it's urgent, Miyuki, Naruto said, appearing in the lightning. Got it. Naruto appeared in the hospital at the moment when Miyuki was being taken to the ward. Honey, dear, be near the door until the end. Of course, Naruto also said that Naruto is busy now and will come in an hour. What did he do to her? Menma growled. None of your business. An hour later, Naruto was told that he could enter the ward. When he entered, he saw his son in the hands of a nurse. Naruto tried to take his son, as his woman hit him on the arm and said, "First the mother," she said, handing the newborn into the hands of the brunette. "Ashura," she said with such affection in her voice, looking at her son. "Take it," she said, handing the child into Kage's trembling hands. Ashura, son, he said, crying, looking at his childish copy. Ashura had a crew cut the color of blood, and black at the ends. Miyuki, thanks, I went to deal with my brother, Uzumaki said, throwing his mask into an urn and teleported to the battlefield, cried out of fear and decided to give up. Fuck you. I'm crying from the good news, really. Yes, sister, go look at him. Niece, she said impatiently and teleported somewhere. Who to look at? Minato asked, taking out a kunai. My newborn son. These words shocked the Konokovites. Menma got angry and ran at Uzumaki and his friends. Naruto also unsealed Zabuza's sword and simply cut off Menmi's hand, but after the attack, the Namikaze clone dissipated. Clone? Get it, you bastard. I will kill you. I will take Miyuki. I will beat your son and give him to a shelter. I will make all Uzumaki women courtesans, and I will destroy the peasants and the village. Shinra Tensei said Yuzukage, throwing back the brother. Menma teleported to his father and they took out their kunai with the mark of the thunder god. Hiration? Yeah, you morons. I'm not a moron, shouted the fifth Hokage, teleporting to the red-haired one. Menma spat out a blood clot after teleporting. Each of your jutsu will bring you pain, and if you leave the barrier, you will instantly die. So it's time to finish with you. I thought so. Fuck, I made a Hokage. Menma. Okay, maybe switch to Sannin mode. Menma, Sannin mod, got it, he said and scattered the clone along with his father. 2 Kage attacked Uzumaki, who was entering the mode of the Sage of the God of Death. Udama Rasengan, shouted Namikaze, creating a Rasengan in each hand and pointing them at the young father. Naruto entered the last stage of Sannin fashion and his body was covered with white armor. Tonto appeared in his hands, and on his head a helmet like a samurai with a mask of the God of Death. He absorbed the Rasengans with the help of Yuzugan. Choose death or life. The whole issue chose life. Menma was afraid for his ass and also chose life, just like Minato. How pathetic you are, he said, chopping off Menmi's hand. Minato's leg. The male part has legs, fingers, hands, and genitals. He didn't touch the girls, except Sakura. He burned her hair, cut off her hands. Menmi finally fucked up 1,000 years of pain with half of his and Senjutsu chakra. Namikaze Jr. shouted in a voice not his own as he flew a second circle around the earth. Naruto removed the barrier and together with Kakashi and Guy teleported to Uzushio. They appeared in Naruto's house and began celebrating the birth of Naruto's son. They drank as if for the last time, but they woke up with a wild hangover. After that, they had to clean the house and throw out empty bottles. Naruto immediately teleported to Miyuki after cleaning. Hi, honey, how is Ashura? Hi, dear, we have a wonderful son. So, Ashura, go to Dad's arms. When the red-haired man took his small copy in his arms, she immediately began to play with his long hair. Mulata, he said, starting to tickle his son. Naruto, we will be discharged tomorrow. She said with a smile, I will be with you for the next week, and my clone will be in the place of the Kage. Thank you, Neru, said the mother taking her child. The baby looked at her with a murderous look expressing, bring me back to bath, I want to play with my hair. Neru, apparently he liked playing with your hair, she said, handing the child to his father. That's for sure, he said looking at his son playing with his hair. So, young father, it's time to leave this room. Mother and child need peace. Okay. He said, kissing Miyuki on the lips and his son on the forehead. Neru, you can go to Konoha to my mom and ask what is needed for the baby except diapers and toys. Understood. Ahem, please come out. After leaving the office, he went to the store for groceries and diapers. Konoha. Under the residence sat all the heads of clans, elite Hunins with elders and Sanins. Shikakuai proposed to offer the world to Uzushio. Jiraiya, it's reasonable, only Yuzukage can unwind our squad. He also defeated 2 Hokages. Hunins, we support the peace proposal. Hamuro, I support Shikaku's proposal. Clan heads agree with the head of the Nara clan. Menma, father, I am for peace, we cannot defeat them. Naruto has eyes stronger than the eyes of God, knows many techniques and can subdue anyone. his ki can make him commit suicide. Shikaku accepted. We declare peace to Uzushio. Naruto was sitting at home and playing with his son when suddenly there was a knock on the door. Our hero opened the door and saw a man with a letter there. Yuzukage-sama, you have a letter from Konoha. Thank you. Mangetsu, I'm free. After closing the door, he began to read the letter. So, a peace proposal, conditions. Konoha gives Uzumaki and 4 Uchiha, and in return Uzushio will give 1 million ri. Will you agree? Yes, but I will give fake money. They didn't say what kind. Honey, Ashura is crying there. Then Naruto shoved the letter into his pocket and rushed to the child with lightning speed. When he reached his son, he started playing with him. Konoha, there were 7 people standing at the gate of the village. Suddenly they saw several silhouettes. When the bound Kushina saw her son and Miyuki, she was overjoyed, and when the child with red hair was held by Naruto, she was in the 7th heaven of happiness. Coming up, he said, Miyuki, take Ashura. Kushina was so glad that the shackles could not stand it. The woman herself ran to her grandson. Miyuki, is this my grandson? Yes, his name is Ashura Uzumaki. Menma is a whore. She gave birth to this asshole son. If you say anything else, I'll kill Hinata and take all the Uchiha. Yes, and I'll shove the promised pillar into your 5th point. Take it for free. Namikaze growled. That's settled. By the way, Minato, say hello to your mistress. Kon, how do you know? Flashback. How tired I am of this post. We need to go and relieve stress. The 4th Hokage complained. Then Namikaze used his crown technique and teleported to the house of the head of the Nara clan. He specifically sent Shikaku and Shikamaru on missions. Meanwhile, Hokage knocked on the door. Hi, darling. Yoshiro Nara said. Hi, honey, most likely you have a question. Why is he cheating on Kushina? Yes, because she has not given him for a long time after the incident with Naruto. Yoshiro, I don't have much time. Let's start now. Okay, end of flashback. Well, not every day you will feel a child in the stomach of the wife of the head of the Nara clan, and even with Namikaze genes, everyone who did not know this. Yes, I am her. Ball, and what? Well, you're an asshole. By the way, Menma, your wife is cheating on you. Well, with whom? Junior Namikaze growled angrily. Fuck, I'll tell you that, quickly. I am the 5th Hokage ordering you, brat, to tell me with whom she is cheating on me. Naruto decided to finish off Minato and said, okay, Hinata is cheating on you with, by whom? Minato. These words sounded like a bolt from the blue. Menma fell to his knees and began to cry. I loved her. You took everything from me. A wife and the hope of becoming a father. You won't become a father anymore. I tore off your Papindra. Have you forgotten something? Okay, I'll restore your brother. Stop. Menma, there is one girl who loves you, and who is it? Ino. I can feel the feelings, intentions and emotions of people other than babies. Really? Namikaze asked hopefully. No. This word finally finished Menma. Honey, Mayumi isn't here. Naruto started using the chakra to find the girl. Finding the girl, he ran to her. This time, the girl was pinned down in the alley by Kiba and Niji. When he got there, Yuzukage saw how the guys were trying to undress her. Naruto didn't understand. Why doesn't she fight back? But then I noticed the weights and the blocking seal on it and understood everything. Uzumaki jumped off and hit Inuzuka with a Rasengan. Bansho sent Hyuga to study Konoha with a tenon. Kage, after beating the babies, approached the girl, who closed her eyes in fear. Hi, it's been a while. The girl opened her eyes and saw a guy in a cape and a Kage hat. Menma? No, I'm Naruto, he said, removing the weights and carefully breaking the seal. The girl attacked the guy after her release. Naruto, I love you. I thought that you found yourself another man for the role of a lover. The girls of our clan are monogamous, but I have a son and a wife. Really? Said the girl in a drooping voice. Well, my wife is your sister. I do not know how it is accepted in your clan that in response, Uchiha smiled mysteriously. Naruto took her hand and teleported with her to the others. Mikoto-san, can you tell us the laws of the Uchiha clan that relate to girls? By the way, can I look into your husband's brain? He already had suspicions about him after these words. Fugaku panicked. Of course, said the woman who got out of the shackles. Naruto approached the head of the Uchiha clan and looked into the memory. After watching, our hero hit him in the stomach with a Rasengan. Bastard. He didn't like Mikoto. He was given the order to make her fall in love with him. Menma and Minato also gave orders to infiltrate Uzushio, steal clan scrolls and women to create children with the genes of the great clans. Mikoto came up and slapped him. Rule 1: if 2 or more Uchiha fell in love with the same man, then he should take them both as wives or kill one of them. That's enough for you. Mayumi, did you want me to say this to Naruto-kun? Yes, said Uchiha smiling. Okay, I have no desire to kill Mayumi. Hurrah! Shouted the girl hugging the guy. So, we need to deal with Namikaze. After these words, Uzumaki began to approach Minato. You wouldn't dare, I'm your father, said the former Hokage. Backing away, the former Hokage understood that the barrier was installed and he could not escape. Taijutsu was useless, the chakra was not an option, it was impossible to use it because of the barrier. Namikaze closed his eyes in fear. You are pathetic, I will not kill you. It will be done by the fathers and husbands of those girls whom you raped and impregnated. After these words, the barrier fell and the entire male half of Konoha appeared. Minato wanted to teleport to the seal of the Thunder God, as they put a seal of chakra blocking and paralysis on him. After that, he was tied to a pole and beaten. Shikaku was made the new Hokage. The first thing he did was to remove the status of courtesans from all kunoichi. The pleasure district was demolished, and he himself divorced his wife. I also ordered protective barriers from Uzushio. Of course, he gave them quite a large sum. Naruto put a barrier 20 kilometers from Konoha that warns of an attack. Next came the protective ones. In Uzushio, Naruto teleported to Ashura and saw that he was playing with grandmothers. Hi, where are Mayumi and Miyuki? Let's go buy a wedding dress for Mayumi. After all, you will have 2 wives. I see. Did Ashura eat? Naruto realized that he asked such a stupid question that he wanted to leave, but Kushina grabbed him and said, who are you holding us for? Of course he ate. I'm sorry. That he waved his hands in apology. Kushina released her son. Naruto was about to go out to eat when he was grabbed again, but it was already Miyuki. Why is everyone grabbing me? I feel like a dog. You have to propose to Mayumi, she said, activating the Sharingan. I understand, but can I eat? Go, she said, throwing the guy into the kitchen. Yes, how much strength do you have? I weigh almost 80 kilograms, and you throw me like a rag doll. So, are you eating now or are you going hungry to the jewelry store? Because we have more strength than the fat fox that lives in your print on your belly. Who did you call fat, Achikanudia? Said the ball that came out of print. You won't eat today, faggot. No, for what? For giving a lot, the last thing Fluffy Ball said before climbing onto the sofa and falling asleep. Naruto hastily made a sandwich and ate it. Then he ran out of the house and went to the jewelry store. Having reached and rushed inside, they looked at him with a laughing look. Excuse me, I need a ring, said Uzumaki, approaching the seller. Yuzukage-sama, you have a wife. What did I say? Naruto snapped angrily. Okay, I think this will suit her, said the girl, taking out a gold ring with a medium-sized diamond. Fine, how much is it for me? 100.000 Ri. After these words, he took out the amount from his wallet in the form of a fox. He put the money on the counter, took the ring and put it in the pouch. Our hero found it with the help of sensors in a nearby store. After leaving the jewelry store, he went to Mayumi. Having entered, Uzumaki approached Uchiha and said, Mayumi, shall we go out and talk? Of course. So, deliver it tomorrow at 20:30, of course, said a guy about 20 years old, who clearly breathes unevenly to Uchiha. After leaving the store, Uzumaki took out a box with a ring and sat down on one knee and said, "Mayumi, will you marry me?" "Yes." The girl shouted with happiness, hugging the groom. Then they headed home. When they returned, the second wife of Kage went to the kitchen, and the scarlet-haired one taught Ashura. The next day, when he woke up, he saw this picture. Mayumi was lying on the bed, besides Miyuki. Naruto got up and made sure that Ashura was asleep, went to the kitchen. Uzumaki took out a pre-cooked ramen with a temporary seal. After eating, he dressed and teleported to his office. As soon as he sat down on the chair, a falcon flew to him. "So, Kyumo and Kiri announce Uzushio and Konoha. A war? Why? Cobra, declare martial law, and I'll go to the Hokage. Also, you need to send a letter to Naruto to return from the task, there is. Anbu said, disappearing. Naruto appeared near the sleeping Shikaku. Shikaku, oh, what? Sorry, Yuzukage-sama, I'm just too tired of the paperwork. I understand, war has been declared on our villages. Kyumo and Kiri, okay, I'll declare martial law right now and assemble an army. Fox, declare martial law. The army is not necessary, strengthen the protection of the walls and gates. I and my clones will fight the enemy army. Yes, I can summon Shinigami, I will believe it, but maybe before you destroy the armies of enemies to find out the reason. Come on, write a letter to Raikage and Mizukage. Shikaku took out sheets of paper and began to write. Having finished, he packed them up and was about to order the letter to be sent to Anbu, when Uzumaki grabbed the letters and said, when I was Kyumo and Kiri, I put the seals hollow. I didn't have time to finish, as the red-haired man disappeared and appeared 3 seconds later. That's it, now we will wait. I'm sorry, but why didn't we just teleport to them and ask without letters? There are about 20 Anbu in their offices. Of course, I would have scattered them, but you could have been captured or killed. Hokage-sama, martial law has been declared, said Anbu, who appeared free. Yuzukage-sama, can you put the seal of the Thunder God on me? Uzumaki understood everything and without further ado put the mark of the Thunder God on the Hokage's shoulder. I'll be waiting, Naruto said. Appearing at home, he saw Mayumi and Miyuki drinking coffee and talking about something. 10 minutes before the appearance of Naruto, two girls went down to the first floor and started a dialogue after brewing coffee. Sister, what kind of ring did Naruto give you? The older Uchiha asked curiously. Here, said Uchiha, showing a finger with a gold ring and a medium-sized diamond. It's beautiful, but he gave me the same one, only with a bigger diamond. You mean that he loves you more than me? No. No, I didn't mean that, not this. Then what? Calm down, Ashura is sleeping, and Naruto's gifts do not mean that he loves me more than you. I'll believe it, but how did you marry Naruto? After all, you were engaged on Menma. Uchiha said the last word with disgust. Well, it's easy. Naruto sneaked into Konoha and threw Namikaze under Genjutsu. He forced him to file for divorce. When I found out, I was happy. After that, I also filed and a month later I was free. I see, but why did you love Menma? Bookmarks and seals. Mikoto's first daughter said while drinking coffee. I see, Uchiha said before taking a sip of the drink. Listen, why didn't I see you in Konoha? Miyuki, you know that I was at my grandparents', and after returning I trained and often stayed at home. But when they tried to pull me out of my home and send me to the pleasure quarter, I beat those men and barricaded myself at home. And the products were worn by a clone under the henge. I see. After these words, none of the girls started a new conversation. After Naruto's return, Miyuki, Mayumi, it's war again. What? The girls shouted. They screamed so much that Ashura woke up. Uzumaki teleported to his son and took him in his arms, went down and began to swing. Kyumo and Kiri declared war on us, and Uzushio and Konoha have already declared martial law. Why start a war again? Whispered the young mother, coming up to her husband. I don't know, we are waiting for an answer. Naruto handed over his son to his wife and teleported to the residence that he himself created a clone and called Anbu, Yuzukage-sama. 4 Masked men spoke, lynx, cat, wolf and fox, informed the whole village to gather at the residence. There is, they said before disappearing into the whirlpool. The scarlet-haired man himself began to sign the papers. For joy, there were few of them. In Konoha, Shikaku sat and signed papers that formed about 3 stacks to the ceiling. As soon as he took the next leaf, 2 birds flew to him. Nara realized that these were letters from Kumo and Kiri. Minato was tied to a post, though sometimes Yoshiro came to him and fed him. Thank you. Can you find out from the Hokage the date of my release? Of course, dear, said the woman, kissing the blonde on the cheek. The former kunoichi went to the Hokage. Naruto, having finished signing the papers, created another clone. Who went to make a speech, the second went to the store. The original itself teleported to Konoha. Have you come? Yes, Kumo, because they don't have people with dojutsu. In my opinion, this is stupid. Kiri is due to a lack of fuin seals, a small territory, and then problems with the economy and growing food. There is no need to start a war. Kiri and Kumo made an alliance and only answered so stupidly for deception. Now half of the army of the 2 villages is facing Konoha. The first barrier announced that the army was heading to Konoha. Naruto ran to the epicenter of the army. When he came running, he saw about 25,000 shinobi. Naruto entered Shinigami mode and ran to shinobi. The first 2 rows were destroyed by the fire technique. 4 rows were destroyed by Mega Rasen shurikens, and he killed the rest of the Tanto of the God of Death. After 20 minutes, the army was gone. The other half headed for Uzushio. Teleporting to his village, he summoned Shinigami. He, like Orochimaru, licked his lips and began to absorb the souls of shinobi. The red-haired one fought against Raikage and Mizukage. Hei entered lightning mode and tried to hit Uzumaki at maximum speed, but the same one cut his throat in response. Mei folded the seals and released a huge wave of lava, which was absorbed by Naruto with the help of Uzugen. Terumi was about to start a new series of seals, as her soul is pulled out by Shinigami. Thanks. After these words, the God of Death disappeared. That's another war over. Yes, you did well, Uzukage, and now catch another war. I, Uchiha Madara, declare a shinobi war on the whole world. After the masked man disappeared, no, Madara chakra is 100 times bigger and stronger. I see, this time I will make more efforts so that there will be no more wars. After the meeting with Madara, the gathering of 7 Kages was announced. The ducks have recaptured the right to the great shinobi village. There were 7 people and 1 duck sitting in the hall. I have gathered the council of 7 Kage in order to unite against Uchiha Madara and the war declared by him. Are you a fool? Uchiha Madara is dead, the 5th Raikage shouted. Have you decided to unite? It's useless, most of you will die in the war. So give me Biju and no one except Killer Bee and Naruto Uzumaki will die. By giving them to me, I can arrange world peace. Fuck you, not Biju. Bee shouted, jumping off the balcony and starting to attack with tentacles. Surprisingly, they passed through it. I would have captured you now, but there are 7 Kage and Mifune here, so live a little longer. And now I declare war on you all. So who wants to be in the alliance? My village agrees to join the Shinobi Alliance. The 6th Mizukage raised his hand. My village agrees too, Gaara said calmly. Konoha agrees to join the alliance. Kumo agrees too, Darui growled. He wanted to kill Naruto for killing Ei. Willow has decided to join the alliance. Father, I will, said the duck, holding out a wing. If this is the case, then the country of Iron also wants to join the United Shinobi troops. That's great. I have an assumption that there is now a massive grave-digging looting. And what is it? Kazekage asked. That someone wants to use the Edo Tensei technique. It was created by the 2nd Hokage, but modified by Orochimaru. Desecration of the souls of the dead. Things are bad, but let's make a war plan and detachments, suggested Nara. I agree. Uzukage, can you put the seals of tracking and summoning to the medical camp for each shinobi? Darui asked. Yes, then Hiratian's mark is on the squad leaders. Great, the units are canonical, only with Uzumaki and Ducks all fights are canonical, except for Kage and Madara. Edo Tensei, shouted the resurrected Tsuchikage. Several coffins appeared, from them came the third and fourth Raikage, the second and fifth Mizukage and the third Tsuchikage, former Kage, Raikage and Mizukage. Could they kill you? Oanoki asked. Naruto Uzumaki, he's still alive, son, apparently this guy is strong, since he killed you. The third Raikage is Dano, he killed us together, Mei said, looking at Kazekage. Killed 2 Kages? Amazing, I know him. The son of the third did not have time to finish, as he was sealed by the Uzukage who appeared. Easy, Uzumaki said, putting sealing seals on the second and fifth Mizukage. Quick, was the last thing the second Fog Kage said. The third Raikage wanted to enter the cover of lightning, as his left hand with a seal pierced itself into a place with a scar in the form of lightning. Damn it. Seal me, I can't beat you, Oanoki said, flying up to Uzumaki. In response, he received a seal on his forehead. Not so fast, Edo Tensei. Kabuto shouted before dying at the hands of Itachi, who found him and killed him. A coffin appeared, from which Madara Uchiha came out, revived by the Tobirama technique? Okay, that's later, but now we'll check out the new generation. Madara attacked the squad. The battle is according to the canon, but only the troops did not die. The generation is so weak. I need a worthy opponent. Let me do it then, said Uzumaki, standing up against the great shinobi. So fast, said Uchiha, looking at the hands that began to crumble. Madara-sensei, I will resurrect you, said Obito, appearing at one of the founders of Konoha, and began the resurrection. Thank you, my puppet, said the brunette, watching the stunned student die. You used me, yes, and now goodbye. After he inserted the kunai into his throat. Freak, you used your student, all for the sake of fulfilling my plan. Then, the shinobi ran and started fighting in taijutsu. Naruto dominated. Uchiha activated Sharingan. You are strong, said the brunette, realizing that Sharingan is useless. How will you handle Rinnegan? Konoha's founder asked, activating Kurama's father's dojutsu. Makuden tree golem. A huge tree man appeared from the ground, who tried to inflict damage on Uchiha. Stupid. Before he could say it, his heart was already in Uzumaki's hands. How? Even at the beginning of the fight with me, you were in genjutsu. After that the brunette died. That's the end, said Uzumaki, about to leave the battlefield. That's not it, said Black Zetsu, trying to shove the chakra particles of the other Biju into Naruto in order to recreate the ten-tailed one, using Naruto's body instead of Geto Maso, and then resurrect the mother. Fuck you. After that, Zetsu received the seal of paralysis. Yes, how are you? Go to your mother. Chibaku Tensei. After Kage's words, a sphere appeared that began to suck in Zetsu and nearby objects. My plan. The last thing that Kaguya's son said before being sealed in a ball, in which Uzumaki put about 100 seals. That's the end of the war. After many years, Naruto gave the post to Uzukage Itachi. He spent all his free time with his family. He and Mayumi made 2 beautiful red-haired girls who possessed mother-like dojutsu. Miyuki also gave birth to our hero, another boy, but unlike Ashura, he looked like his mother. Minato was demoted to Chunin and banned from taking missions more difficult to rank B. The former Hokage had a son. They called him Boruto. Other girls had an abortion. Those who were raped by Namikaze. Shikaku also started dating Shizune. About Akatsuki at war and Itachi. Akatsuki killed Obito. After that, he talked Kabuto into it. Itachi also saw how the bespectacled man tried to get into Uzushio with Deidara. When they decided to leave, Itachi sent clones after them. Naruko is also dating Itachi in the 2nd month of pregnancy. Menma was released from the Deka and he began a quiet life in Konoha together with a girl from the Inuzuka clan. Hinata was killed for attempting to kill the head of the Hyuga clan. Naruto died the next day, after his birthday at the age of 150. Uzumaki Hyul, Miyuki and Mayumi also died at the age of 80 and 85. End. Tatsu was with you.